This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Psyche, Asuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimstarter, Lily Black, Bob CC, Mikter Rabentau, Anathos Moonscar, Pamela Isley, Elendriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira Miri, Celesta Notrell, Lazy Boy, A Wild Sarah, Luke Osborne, Pandalu Stormarrow, Tex, Kai Lin, Arthur Law, Beridan Derard, Cypup, Spencer Christmas, Noy Fafnir, Celine DeLune, Webster Wolf, Severa, Circa Barakeel, AJ Brainswordson, Kazran, Ventos Tia, Ryark Forbear, Pizza Pockets, Leighton the House, Tony, Arcadia Lunashine, and Framboise Sakuro. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakers6iv. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Eorzeans. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 379. I'm Lakil Brayston, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Mail of Anandar, and Rollo Des. It's our anniversary episode!
Watch out, Lakil. There's a Nisa right behind you.
Yeah, that's right. But don't worry, I've killed him and taxidermied him.
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Circle of life. So beautiful.
Yeah. It is bad time for... Sorry, I forgot I had gum in my mouth. I'll take that out. Yes, it is December 2nd, 2023. And our anniversary is actually on the 6th. But I think one of us is not going to be here on next episode, Melee, I think. So we're doing it now. That's actually a curse that has befallen most of our anniversary episodes, where one speaker just isn't here for the anniversary episode. So we have to do it now.
Well, one time when we did it, when we did have everyone, the curse was your internet wasn't here.
Oh yeah, shit.
It's always permacast.
That's true. So yeah, we're doing that today. So we're going to talk about both 14, which is 10 this year, and speakers, which is 9 this year, which is...
Oh my god.
Good lord.
Done 9 years.
9
This
years.
for a decade soon, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's horrible.
Yeah, so we're gonna go down memory lane a little bit later, but we're also gonna talk about FanFest, which is coming up next month. The JP FanFest. We have some details about the streaming schedule, or the schedule. I think we have times as well. Also, MogMail. Hopefully, we'll try to. We'll fit in one MogMail at least today. Speakers6iv.com/MogMail. Again, MogMail is working, so you can send in MogMail. Stay tuned for the post show. It might be shorter than usual depending on how long this takes, but we'll try to get to the post show as well. Questions from the syndicate, of course. And I am not very optimistic for Pokemon today.
Whoa.
So that might have to wait until next week. Also want to mention real quick in channel updates that Secrets of a Realm is coming out next week. I'm assuming around now, like next week, Saturday, probably Sunday. Cerulean Reactor, that's for patrons, by the way. Big disclaimer for patrons, which means the Diadem Disaster, the Remnants of a Realm episode, will be out sometime. I think it'll be when we go on hiatus is when I'll release the Diadem episode on YouTube, like the Saturday when we're not here. And then Cerulean Reactor for patrons is tomorrow. That's our full 16 review, essentially. So if you want to hear us talk about 16, that's all coming out tomorrow. So Master and Supreme speakers there. Also mentioning now that MGP, that we're going to cover MGP. Since we have the dates, I'll say it now so you can mark your calendars. The 13th, the 20th, and the 27th of January and February 3rd will be the dates where we will cover MGP 2024, which is the Norwegian selection for Eurovision Song Contest. That means that podcast, like last time, will be moved to Sunday on those days or those weeks. So keep that in mind. But we will remind you more when we get closer to that date. All right, there you go. Let's move on then to recent events. Right. In recent events, we, like I said, have the information from for the JP FanFest in Tokyo. This post was posted to Lodestone a couple of days ago now. The Fan Festival 2024 in Tokyo staged events will be broadcast free of charge, excluding the concerts, which, and this is interesting. We talked about it when we read the translated one, but now we have it confirmed. Excluding the concerts, which can be broadcast, which will be broadcast in a paid stream. So you can actually buy a ticket digitally and watch it. So if you want to do that, you can do that. Join us for 2 days of fun and excitement from the comforts of your own home or anywhere you have internet access. All stage programs for day 1 and 2 will be broadcast, excluding the piano performance and the Primals concert. That's for the free stream. And then for the paid stream, the piano performance and the Primals concert will both be broadcast in their entirety as paid streams. You'll be able to watch them live during the Fan Festival as well as in the archive afterwards for a set period of time. Ticket sales are scheduled to begin on Monday, December 18th. Now,
watching the or getting the payment for that is worth it, even if you don't necessarily want the concerts, because you will get the closing ceremony as well, which is never streamed.
That's true. Yeah. That's fair. The paid video distribution platform is StreamPass/FanStream. Is that the same one that was used for the concert thing that we?
I don't remember, but I would suspect so.
That website was a nightmare, by the way, to buy a ticket from. I remember that. But
it's Japanese web design.
Yeah. Yes. It's very Web 1.0.
Yeah. It's nice though. It's nostalgic.
Yeah, that's true. Just not something you want to put your credit card info into.
No, absolutely not.
Ticket prices for viewing both days is 3,500 yen, so 30-ish, 35. I don't know what the rate is right now, but 30-ish dollars, I guess.
About $40.
About 40. Okay, so it's higher. Okay. The sale starts Monday, December 18th, and lasts until February 5th, Monday, February 5th, 2024, at around 6:59 a.m. PST. And then the archive will then be available from Tuesday, January 9th till Tuesday, February 6th. So if you buy a ticket on February 5th, you have 24 hours to watch that archive.
That's true.
A bit of an
But you've got it in advance at least, I guess.
I mean, if you're purchasing it on February 5th, knowing that it goes away on you should know that it goes away on February 6th. You should be purchasing it knowing you're watching it that day.
Yeah. It's just interesting. I would add a week to the archive, just, but whatever.
Sale period, yeah. It's weird that the sale period and the archive period are mostly the same.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. That is the setup. We will, of course, again cover it. Still waiting for the finalized schedule, but there's still time.
And the English version of the JP FanFest website.
That's fair. Oh yeah, that's true.
It has some of the schedule on it. Well, actually, pretty much has the whole schedule.
Well, it has the schedule, but there's something in there's some posts in the schedule that haven't yet to be
gaps.
Filled.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as we know, we will of course let you know.
Quiz corner. Wow.
Yeah, there's a quiz. Okay, so there you go. That's JP FanFest. Yay!
Looking forward to it, guys. When is it? Early January. It's like the 8th or 9th or something.
It is January
6th. Okay,
Right.
the 1st.
And speakers will be there
I should be
live
on
on
leave.
stage for sure this time.
Oh shit! What's
this
the
is the one
time
we got
then?
invited to.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, the time is going to be hell for you, mainly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's so hard to understand the direction it needs to be in. Will we be?
It will
Oh,
be.
we'll talk about
It will be
later.
Yeah.
It will probably start about an hour and a half from now, Mailer.
Yeah. So
That's when it starts.
Okay.
So it'll
On Saturday.
it'll end around like 8 a.m. or something crazy like that.
Mm.
Like, yeah.
Yes, the Saturday will start in about an hour and a half, considering it is 7:45 a.m. for me on a Sunday morning, Mailer.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll figure this out.
Yeah,
all right.
I'll need to get it into my head.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on then. That's all the recent events. We literally can't talk about anything else because it's going to be a long segment later. So let's jump into some MogMail. MogMail. Here it comes. Any second now. There it is. Yeah, and this one's from Spicer Lovejoy from Ragnarok Chaos. Ahoy there, speakers. It's been a long time since I sailed in your waters, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to wish my favorite light party crew, Lukiel, Vero, Lonergan, and Yaz, a happy 69th anniversary.
Oh.
I like that. Yeah. They skipped you, Mailer, who technically came before. Yeah, they never liked you.
Wow, interesting.
That's quite spicy. No, it's fine.
Yeah. I happened to catch one of your weekday streams recently, and you were watching a formidable woman producing some good old-fashioned home-cooked treats that reminded me so much of home, but you were all being so very mean about her. I can tell from the tone of Lukiel's criticism that he dines at the captain's table regularly and isn't used to such wholesome home cooking as Mrs. Spicer used to produce back before I was swallowed into this realm.
Aww.
I was disappointed, especially in your words, Lonergan. And even though Yas and Vero tried to defend her, it was clearly all an act. Still, despite your reaction to this most wonderful woman, I could not help but be drawn to your crew once more. When will you return to your wonderful minimum eye level runs? And when will these productions become available on YouTube? Spicer Lovejoy knows about YouTube.
I love you, Spicer Lovejoy.
I really do miss them. They are the best content you produce.
Agreed.
But I do forget myself. One should no doubt One should not doubt the wonderful Captain Bravestone and his crew, who I'm sure have even more exciting plans for content in the coming year. So let me tip my hat to you all and wish you fair seas in the coming year. I hear there's a ship sailing for the New World soon.
Oh.
No! Oh God!
No.
And I intend to be honest. As I
Lovejoy.
would desperately like to enjoy the dawn under those azure skies, icebergs permitting.
No!
Well, I have a feeling about that.
Oh my God. Great. If Spicy Lovejoy has just predicted the best start to the expansion possible where we hit an iceberg, that would be amazing.
Minimum eye level.
I love minimum eye level.
The problem is that minimum eye level just doesn't fit into like any editing schedule for me. So that's why we've fallen behind.
It's kind of minimum eye level's a vibe and it can't be forced.
No.
So putting it on a schedule doesn't always work. Like some of the ones we did were obviously gold.
Yeah.
And some of them just didn't hit so well, like some of the Sestasha and stuff.
Yeah, and I think
it's something we could jump into every now and then.
Yeah.
But it's hard to force it on
there's
a
also
weekly schedule.
Unfortunate truth to minimum eye level, and that's that it doesn't perform well.
It doesn't, no. Even though it's the best content, it doesn't perform well.
No. So we have to like balance like what we put effort into as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I still think maybe we could do it as like just live, but you do lose that classic. I mean,
you need the editing is part of the experience.
Yeah, I mean, there's two experiences to minimum eye level. It's being there live and then watching the edit afterwards, or if you didn't catch it live. I don't know. It's
maybe like once a quarter, even though it doesn't perform well.
Yeah, we can do it like as a special.
If we do it very irregularly, maybe it'll do okay. But yeah, having it weekly just drains the views count on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ideas that I've had for minimum eye level, like how to keep it alive. Having it like weekly is too much. Like it'll because everything else suffers as a result. So I wouldn't do that. So yeah, we'll see. It'll be back. because it's one of our favorite things to do. So we need to have some fun as well. So yeah, it'll be back, but not on like a schedule. I think is what we're saying here. Thank you, Spicy. I would rethink that ticket for the New World. Just a tip.
Lore of our Spicer Lovejoy that like when they came here after the Titanic crash, so they're aware of Iceberg.
That's true, but it
So
might
it's
be
even
some.
more
But he might be
wasn't
living in
there
like
another person
another
in
person?
real life
Spice
who went on the Titanic, hit the iceberg,
and woke up in a Yorkshire?
survived. No, survived, and then went on another cruise and hit an iceberg.
Yeah, I was just about to say her name. She was on Olympic, and then Olympic had like a fatal crash. Well, it didn't sink, but it was a serious crash. And then she went on the Titanic. Then Titanic sank. And then she went on the Britannic to serve as a nurse, and then it hit a mine and sank. So
she was the unluckiest person ever.
Yeah.
Well, you can't have girls on boats, dude. Everyone knows that. Bad luck.
Oh God.
Bad luck.
Yeah.
Well, some would
That's
say
where
bad
only the
luck, but I also
figureheads
say
go.
she's also very lucky. Like
She's lucky.
to survive all three Olympic sisters is
She must really hate
Mhm.
ships.
Yeah. No, she went on after that as well.
Maybe
Oh God.
Yeah.
he's the reason. Maybe she sabotaged him.
Maybe
Sabotage.
that's true.
This is the deep hidden lore of the Titanic. I want to watch it low. This is like conspiracy level theory shit. The
Yeah.
Titanic was sabotaged.
Yeah.
It wasn't an iceberg. It was mines on all three.
She tried seducing the person that was supposed to be on lookout to distract them.
That's
Yeah.
the hussy. No, Jesus.
Perhaps
Violet
she seduced
Jessup.
God himself.
Violet Jessup is her
And
name.
produced
Violet Jessup.
Yeah.
Violent
What
Jezebel.
a name.
Yeah,
She can't be called
exactly.
Violent Jezebel.
Violet Jessup is her name. Yeah. So she was a maritime stewardess and then nurse. So
Wow.
okay. I don't know how we ended up here, but we'll do one more. Let's do one MogMail more. Why not? This is from Auntie Iris from Halicarnassus.
Say that-
It's Auntie.
Can you say that again?
Auntie Iris?
Auntie
There
Iris.
you go.
Did I say it wrong? Oh, did I say
Said
Auntie? Auntie. Auntie.
Auntie Iris.
Auntie.
Auntie Iris.
Hello, speakers. Best wishes to all of you as we approach the Starlight season. I'm currently curled up with my fat cat.
I'm currently curled up with my fat.
Cuddling your fat.
There's a really
Jesus.
weird, like,
Auntie
it
Iris.
just ended there. Okay, sorry.
Best wishes. I'm curled up with my fat right now. No, we're having a lovely time.
You named your fat?
I'm okay. I'm currently curled up with my fat cat, Cinnamon, and
Aw,
a
Cinnamon.
cozy cup of Doman tea. The Imperium is always so lovely this time of year. I wanted to ask, as Starlight memories are on my mind, what are all of your favorite memories from your time in Aetheris? Are there any people or places that have made your time in our little adventuring world particularly special? Do you recall a time that you, as a seasoned adventurer or a more seasoned adventurer, were helpful / kind to? Cinnamon and I hope you have a safe and fulfilling holiday season. Cheers, Auntie Iris. What?
Warranty.
You didn't read the last word. You didn't read kind to you.
Oh, helpful kind to you. To you.
Helpful or kind too.
Yeah, thank you, Auntie Iris. I'm sorry. I
My favourite memory was when Lukiel called you, said you were curled up with your fat.
Yeah.
Like,
Can we replay that
that's
clip real
not-
quick?
no.
That wasn't on Aetheris.
No. Oh, Starlight memories. I remember.
No, it's just memories.
to
They're
ask-
having Starlight memories,
Oh,
but they're
right.
asking about our memories in general
Well,
of the
I
game.
mean, that's kind of what we're going to talk about later.
Yeah, I know.
but
That's why I thought you
we
read
can
it.
talk about something. We'll lead with like something less tied to like content, like something you've done in the game.
Mm.
I mean, I'll do Starlight memory since that was mentioned. I remember that that event, the Starlight event, where you had to do the you had to go to Christmas trees around the housing district and get the little eggs, and I did that with Vero, and Vero had no idea why we were gathering the eggs, And she's like, when can I get the present? And I'm like, no, you have to get the eggs. And we just went around, and she just kept getting the same colored egg, and it was very funny. But I remember that. I don't remember much else, but I just remember that feeling of like how fun that event was, because it was like housing districts were new, and now we were doing like content in the housing district. That was wild. We didn't do much of that after, but it was fun when we did it. I
think I might have said this one before, but I think one of my favorite memories in this game, playing with my friends, is it was during Heavensward, and we were doing Thornton Extreme. And we were progging it, like we're doing well. And then like we're about to start this next pull, like we're on like our second lockout, and my friend just disconnects like right before the pull. We're like, oh, where are you? What happened? And they're like, my sub ran out.
No.
And I was like, oh. So we just stopped that day. It's very, very funny.
Yeah.
It's just they sent me the screenshot of like your service has ended or something. I've never seen that happen to anyone.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
Yeah.
One time when in the good old days when limps at RP existed, we were part of a larger group of people who were more enthusiastic about roleplay than us. We kind of just dabbled for fun, but they were more into it.
Yeah.
And one time, and I'm not going to name any of the other people's names, but one time Lukiel, Orange, and I snuck into someone's house and like clipped into their furniture so you couldn't really see our name. And then it was empty, and we were thinking, oh, wouldn't it be funny if they came back? And then they did. Yeah. And then we just observed them while we were hiding in their furniture. And I think we managed to sneak away at some point. It was like hide and seek. It was very fun.
Yeah.
Some secure serial killer stuff. You're just stalking this poor person.
We were just exploring the house, and then we got trapped downstairs.
Yeah. Hiding inside their literal walls to watch them.
It was funny. God. There was some good stuff in that group. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then it just died one day somehow.
There was a lot that happened.
Was there lots of drama?
We can probably talk about it. Well, we can save it for the main.
Yeah, sure.
When we talk about the main bit. All right, Georgi, do you have anything? Any light memory?
Ooh,
oh, you were.
Is he frozen?
Yeah,
or is he just thinking?
Okay. Now I was thinking and frozen. I remember with my friend before Crossworld party finders existed. So not even like. Well, obviously, data center party finders still don't exist, but like before you could even get party finders across worlds, and obviously you couldn't travel, we would just queue up for Realm Reborn Extremes and see what we got.
Oh,
and some went better than others. We did clear. I think we cleared all of them, but Ramu was by far the most torturous to have experienced in the party finder.
Oh my lord!
I did not like having to learn. Well, I was a healer, so I didn't really have to learn the tank swap. But seeing tanks learn how that worked in Ramu Extreme was very not fun.
Can imagine. Well,
God, Ramu. Hey, that fight is definitely a colorblind person's biggest nightmare. Like the purple lasers with the purple floor is hard enough.
Yeah. But speaking of queuing up in just like the duty finder, there was also the time we helped out that WoW dev.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Coil.
Yeah.
What's his name?
It's the
Steven?
I don't remember his name.
No, I don't remember anymore. But that was fun. He was trying to do Coil, and like obviously no one's queuing for Coil. So he was just
some people were queuing for Coil, and there was just 3 people that he needed. So us 3 joined him.
That's true. Yeah, that's what had happened.
I remember his explanation too. Because we asked in chat, like, why are you queuing up for them? And he was doing like Heavensward MSQ while queuing up. It's like, I just want to try and do them. And I was like, this is this behavior would be insane to like anyone else.
Oh yeah,
but I guess it makes sense coming from him.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't do that in WoW really either, unless you're doing like LFG difficulty, which is easier than our mode.
Yeah.
So,
but like, it's like imagine like he was late in Heavensward too. He was doing stuff in old Charlie. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And he was like queuing up for coil and stuff. I'm like, what?
Well, with the queue length that big, you might
Yeah.
as well. I mean, he probably started queuing in a Realm Reborn rally.
Well, he said he didn't mind if it took forever because he had so much else to do while he was doing it. So yeah.
But yeah,
Find that guy's
we
name.
got
I'm gonna
through
get
the
back to him.
first. We got through the first 4 phases of coil with him, and then when we queued up for the 5th one, we got put into some random other group.
What? No.
Well,
Yeah.
he still had to wait.
No way.
It was
wild.
It was. I found him. Kevin Jordan.
That's it.
There we
Yeah,
go.
there
Kevin
it is.
Jordan.
Shout
I
out.
think so.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. That's that. Now we can move on to the main topic. Thank you, Auntie Iris.
Thanks,
Auntie.
Iris. Enjoy your
Auntie.
fat
Auntie.
cinnamon.
Well, you both like that word is pronounced differently in American English and British English, and I think that's why I'm now fucking it up because I'm in a transitional
Oh,
period.
so-
I think American
Wouldn't you say ant in America?
They say
Ant.
aunt,
you can say
Ant.
both.
Annie,
Aunt.
aunt,
Aunt.
Tante,
I've never heard an American say aunt, but I guess I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like a dialect, like regional dialect thing. It's wherever you're from.
Okay. Well, anyways, that's that. Moving on then to the 10th anniversary of Final Fantasy XIV. Now,
What?
we're gonna work our way through the expansions and talk about like our
At
highlights
a brisk pace.
at a brisk pace. So, yeah, I guess we'll just start. I was tempted to talk about 1.0, obviously, but this is the 10th anniversary of A Realm Reborn, so it doesn't make
Yeah,
any
get
sense.
that old man and shit out of here.
Yeah.
Well, you can't
Was out.
you can't talk about A Realm Reborn without mentioning that it. I mean, it was reborn from 1.0, so most of my memories from A Realm Reborn are going to be tainted by the fact that I came back to a game that I barely recognized.
How did you feel about the plot of A Realm Reborn at the time, having experienced 1.0?
I think it was pretty good. Like everyone was like constantly acknowledging, you know, it was like I'd come back.
Who you were?
Yeah. Well, they didn't know who I was for most of it. You know, like it was mostly, oh, we forgot about you. Like forgot about everyone. So, oh, okay. But the story like felt like it was just picking up where we'd left off. Like, oh, except it's been 5 years, so that was good.
How did you feel about them always saying, we don't remember their names or their faces?
It was sad because I'm like, I know you, but no.
Okay,
Did you worry that they would never remember you?
Yeah, but thankfully we did get the acknowledgement in the end. Yes, Rollo?
I feel like it's kind of crazy. We don't really mention this often, but like the actual gameplay changes from 1.0 to A Realm Reborn
Oh yeah.
are insane because it was just WoW's combat essentially.
Mm-hmm.
It's like lifted 100%.
Yeah.
Which people don't like to say or admit, but that was huge change, and
What changed for the best?
we didn't have
Yeah,
like we didn't have everything like having skill timers anymore. Like it was we had an OGCD. Oh,
I
sorry,
mean,
we had a regular.
it took a 1.0 view towards how long the GCD would be.
Right.
You know.
Well, they wanted
Quite
to.
long.
that's what they could handle is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they wanted to preserve the soul of a Final Fantasy MMO. I guess is what they.
Yeah, they
wanted
didn't want it to be
GCD.
too spammy.
Yeah, but it's
And
still
it works out
very
when you're max
radical.
level,
Yeah.
but it doesn't feel very good at level 1.
No, but A Realm Reborn very base, just period. It was
A good base.
It was a good base,
I
but
really
But it
enjoyed
was definitely a base.
yeah, not a lot of features to start with. The Party Finder.
A time of
Yeah, go on.
no roulettes.
Yep.
No,
No
Just
roulette.
shouting for dungeons.
Shouting for dungeons because Party Finder didn't
But
work.
there were so many
exist.
people, it seemed, because everyone was going through the game still.
Yeah.
So it was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be impossible to shout for dungeons now, but
Leveling via fates because the leveling was so bad.
Yeah.
I missed the Fate groups and Corthus. Those were the
Oh
days.
yes,
Oh,
I remember that.
I just
just
out
doing
there.
Bara's up.
Oh,
yeah, Doing
God.
Svara just on repeat. I spent hours doing
Those
that.
were the days. Yeah, just joining fate trains in like Eastern
The original Fate
Thanalan.
trains.
Just in like random Realm Reborn zones that you would never do that now, but that was like the shit then.
It was cool. And you
Um,
knew you were like, you knew you'd almost made it when you got to Mordona.
yes.
And you could glimpse those people who were a bit ahead of you who had just got a couple of their dark lights
Walking
and
around
you're
in
like,
dark
oh my
light.
god,
Yeah.
this guy's got blue gear. Oh, I just really can't wait to get blue gear.
Yeah.
And these were the days of aggro management too, because
Mm.
we had that for 2 expansions, Realm Reborn and Heavensward. And I mean, it was insane. I don't know if you remember the fights people had for like stat melds, for like,
Right.
oh well, you gotta do damage to or generate enmity, and it's like all this. It was so confusing, I would say.
Yeah.
It was. But I liked the old, I liked the Realm Reborn aggro management where, theoretically, you could out DPS the tank's enmity and take it off them. And
Mm-hmm. Well,
because the tank was also switching between, well, there was also the off-tank specs having sword.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It was
The
wild
days
time.
of terrible PvP materia too.
No, don't talk about
What-
PvP.
Warrior didn't have an off-tank stance in
No,
a Realm Reborn.
No, that's
Warrior
right.
was wild, but Warrior was... Warrior was weird.
Warrior is weird, but people loved Warrior. I remember
Yeah, it was just
oh,
good.
yeah.
It was
just did well.
yeah. It could stand on its own.
2.0 Warrior was absolute trash. It wasn't until they at least made it so that what's the conal attack?
Yeah, that's the one.
Overpower?
Literally what I was
Overthrow?
thinking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
yeah. When they made it so that it wasn't a casted skill.
Yes.
It was when Warrior
Yeah.
truly went through a revolution.
Yes.
Ugh.
But there was like there were 2 pieces of content that was like huge and mysterious at the time, and that was Crystal Tower and
Mhm.
the Dalamud raid that we were
Yeah.
promised. So Crystal Tower, I believe they wanted to release with A Realm Reborn, but they simply couldn't do it in time, so it was pushed back. And I think that the same was true. Was Coil released A Realm Reborn? No, it was released A Realm
No.
Reborn.
It
Yeah.
was
Was it?
released, but not a.
But not
it
like
was, but it
not
was
a
a couple
core
of
patch.
weeks.
at
like-
release.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So I guess we'll
that's
do coils
surprising.
first, because you talked about like the story. I mean, this is where the big reward for 1.0 players came in.
Yes.
Because this is
Yeah.
the true end to the storyline that started in 1.0, the living on a prayer story. I mean, looking back on it now, very strange. Like, it's a very strange raid. Like, to put cutscenes and lore and trash in a raid nowadays is not something we would appreciate very
And it
much.
wasn't just like trash before a boss. It was an entire floor of trash.
Yeah.
Like that was the raid, like
Right.
you got in and did your fucking, which one? I was forget the one was like the puzzle or something, the jumping puzzle.
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
Turn 3. Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's insane.
Turn 3 was
I'm
that was crazy. People were so fucking angry, and I was angry too, raiding at the time, because every week we had to get to that fucking turn and just waste time for nothing. It was so annoying. I understand some people like it now, but back then, if you were raiding back then, it wasn't fun.
back then.
And you loved it, did you? To do
I didn't love it back then.
Oh, okay.
love
What's
it
your
now.
argument?
What?
What was the argument? You just wanted to be a contrarian. What do you mean?
No, I like it conceptually, but I didn't like having to do it every week.
Well, that was the problem, wasn't it? That's
Yeah,
the
that
point.
is the problem.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a problem with its existence. Or, well, I do have a problem with its existence. I don't have a problem with it in concept. I hated that
Okay.
you had to do it.
Right. It shouldn't have been there. It should have been
I
somewhere
wish
else.
they'd tried
No,
to do
that's
it.
my opinion on it.
Okay.
I wish they'd tried to do it more as a proper, like, a one-off big raid with saved checkpoints rather than the 5 floors, 4 floors system that
Honestly,
they've adopted.
Turn 3 could work as a solo player instance in the same way that you had solo duties to unlock things like Omega Escape.
Yeah,
Yeah, but in the middle there, that would be a bit awkward now, wouldn't it? Like you'd do turn 1 and 2, and then you'd have to do a solo duty to get to turn 4 and 5, which would now
that's
be
true. It would have to
3
go
and
out
4.
of the weekly.
Yeah, it'd have to be
progression,
just
I
a
think.
random.
They would have to
Yeah.
rework that. I mean, there is a story in there, so maybe you get it like
I mean-
once, and then once you've
Yeah,
done it.
I mean, there's a lot about Coil that could be reworked.
That's true. Well, the worst part and why it was such a waste is you didn't actually get any loot other than I think there were
No.
chests in there, like 2, but they just contained like potions.
there?
I have a faint
don't-
memory of
Oh,
like a chest.
Yeah. There
Or
were
2.
hidden chests in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like how we used to have dungeon chests that used to just have potions, not even gear,
Yeah.
that they took out.
Yeah.
That's it.
But of course, turn 5, legendary, Twin Tanya, which took forever to beat. We have talked a lot about this fight. We don't have to rehash that.
No. Revolutionary.
Oh god.
But
I know you guys don't believe me on this, but I did go back and I looked at like random videos of it. People's ability to play this game at the high end during this time with Coil is such a sight. Like you can look. I looked at old Mistech videos of people doing Coil, and like people are not always casting. Like the most basic thing we take for now, they're not even doing. Like people's aptitude for this game has increased so much, and seeing it's in its infancy like now, it's kind of funny. You just like, oh, these are like high end people, and they're like just
So-
as a bar, just standing
At the
still.
highest
casting.
level, it's increased.
So
for sure.
so I'm assuming then that you will agree with me that there was nothing wrong with the twisters.
Oh no,
Yoshi
that's
P
bad.
was right.
That's bad, and that it's not. There's no telegraph, and not that like it
It's
has
not-
to show
you don't
you.
need
It's not
telegraph.
intuitive.
Why would we
Yeah,
need a
like-
telegraph? Learn the mechanics.
I'm not
Learn
ask-
it. Just
I'm not
learn it.
asking for like like I hear a little rotating clock or something like that.
We're doing this.
It just happens to you.
No,
There's,
no, you
there's
just-
no.
No.
you cast
There is
Twister, and
it
then you
says
learn how to
Twister.
spray.
There's a cast for Twister. That's when you have to
Yeah.
move.
The clue
Well,
in
what
the,
does-
is in
what
the
does that
name
mean?
and how you do it.
Well, you have to die to it first to learn it. I mean, that's how you
But-
learn fights in a raid.
All fights should have.
I mean, someone figured
learn
it out
nature.
eventually
I mean, they did, but
and
that's
cleared
like,
it before it was nerfed.
I don't agree with the fact that twisters are bad in any shape.
The thing that they nerfed.
I mean,
so just so we're clear on this, in the original Twister, so everyone knows Twister now.
Yeah.
You cast Twister, you have to move and not retrace your steps, right?
Yeah.
It'll spawn wherever you've been.
or anyone else's stuff.
Or anyone else,
Steps.
yeah. But in the original Twister, there was an invisible box around you that if you went out of bounds from that box, it would immediately trigger and kill you. That's what people struggled with. Was
Now, I ask you, if you saw that yourself, right? Like with all the information you're given, right? You see the cast Twister, right? It does. I think did it give you a debuff? I don't remember if it gives you a debuff, right?
no.
Oh, it didn't even give you a debuff.
No.
That's so bad. Like you have no information to learn. The only reason why people got through is kind of like just trial and error, essentially.
Yeah.
And like
That's how
brute
rating should
forcing it.
work.
I mean, that's how
I
it
shouldn't be
should
brute
work.
forcing it though. That's not how rating works in 14.
Not
No,
anymore.
but that's how rating should work.
I mean, it was then.
You're presented with a bunch of mechanics and you figure out how they work and then you progress.
Yeah, but you're given clues as to
Yeah.
what they mean and what they do.
Well, okay, so we are back.
It's
We've had this discussion
Massive. Yeah, we have had this discussion.
go look at that episode. Anyways, yeah, we get that, and then we get the second Coils, which also gets this weird and only Savage version of Coil. Turn to or second Coils, which also has. I mean, we've ranked this. Oh yeah, shit! I have to put that out. Don't I? That's going to be a lot of flaming in the comments for that one. I forgot about that. That's ready to upload. The T9 with Nail, Deus Darnus, classic. We talked about that as well, and then turn 5, which is turn 5. the
12.
What is the final coils?
12.
Yeah, final
final.
coils, but
The final
Yeah.
coil of Bahamut.
Fine. Yeah.
yeah, I mean legendary raids now, but very old, very outdated in today's standard.
Yeah.
But what was really crazy was Crystal Tower. When Labyrinth. Oh, do we want to anything else to add? I feel like we've talked about coils so much already, but
I mean, we have. I just thought you were going to talk
It's
briefly
actually-
about how the fact that you get a cutscene reward for
yeah,
doing
I mean that's
coil, which
that's
has
wild.
never happened again.
But then it has been made lesser now, obviously.
Oh, we
'cause
get
it's-
lore in some of them.
Yeah, but
there's
like
still-
yeah.
like a fully like
Well, you get a
CGI.
visual
Oh, no, the
work.
CGI one, no, true, yeah. The CG one was,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
I wish we still got that.
Well, that it was kind of you knew
It'd be
that
a
was
treat.
once that was a one and done
Yeah.
thing because that would probably Visual Works has like a 2-year turnover or something, I think, before they can like produce a product. So that would have been
Jeez.
impossible.
Need to hire more people.
So Labyrinth of the Ancients. When that
Yeah, I
shit
kind of
released,
dropped off. I remember it being in the patch thing, and then I remember this mysterious event, Lightning Returns,
oh yeah,
which I hadn't seen what the new Final Fantasy 13 game was called, so I was like, I had no idea what Lightning Returns event was.
right.
Well, unfortunately, my
Good for her. She's
FC sort
returning.
of pulled apart at that point, so I stopped playing.
So you didn't play through Labyrinth?
I never got to
of
play
launch?
original Labyrinth.
Okay, because that
Really?
shit
Really? I thought you.
was jank.
No, I never got to.
Oh, even unlocking original Labyrinth was fucking jank.
Yes.
Oh, those fates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You had to do all these like stupid tasks to get to unlock it.
To make some keys to break the gates.
Yes, it's so a Realm Reborn. Yeah, you had to do like how many fates were there? There were like
6, wasn't there?
yeah, fuck, it was that
There's
many.
4. No,
Oh,
it's
four.
4.
Four.
Four.
So
There
Okay,
there
still a
were 4
lot.
gates for the entrance.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
still a lot.
yeah,
See, this
It's nice
you can
community.
see.
yeah.
They removed this eventually, but you can see the connection between this and the Realm Reborn Relics first stage. They're very
Mhm.
similar in how they feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Very
don't hate the
janky
idea
movie.
of that though, but I just think with how tagging in Fates works, you're going to get a lot of disappointed people who don't get the contribution. they
Yep.
planned.
Yeah.
That's why you party up, Mel. You gotta do it with your
Well, I
friends.
mean, yeah, you should party up, and you should play a class that is easy to generate rewards for, like tank or healer.
Yeah.
Spam AoE heal or provoke.
And this would have
People
been
didn't know these things back then, Mailer.
no.
Yeah, well, you live and you learn, don't you?
But this would have been around the time the Party Finder was implemented, so it would have been good use of that, I guess. But to get a fate party, but yeah. So that's going in though. That was so mind blowing having that many players in one
Oh, yeah.
instance.
I was wowed when I first saw it. I was like, oh my, there's so many people.
Yeah. And 2 tanks, so per party. So
Yeah.
we
Never
had
again.
never again. That was a bad idea.
That tank
Uh,
barely had anything to do. Even though there were like
It
war
was-
mechanics for them
That was
sometimes.
the trouble. They should
No,
have
they
made
were-
it so it was it was really
They-
forced.
There were things to do back then because things would kill you if you didn't do
Yeah.
the tank mechanics.
They were
Yeah, but having
Yeah.
one major boss with 6
There,
tanks.
there were a few, but for the most part, there
skele-
weren't enough to do
You
for
did-
the off tank.
You needed
Yeah.
to pull skeletons back then, otherwise they'd just end up killing
That's
random
true.
party members
Yeah,
on
yeah.
their own drag. And you
Mhm.
needed tanks to hit the towers because anything else would get killed by activating them.
Initially, I will say the off tank had enough to do, but that very quickly went away when any
Yeah.
eye level was added on.
Yeah.
and,
That's true.
Yeah, people started skipping the skeletons in 2.1. Like that's sort of like
Mhm.
where we were. Yeah, and then and then I remember making it to the end of Labyrinth. I'm like, where's Crystal Tower? Where is the tower you promised, Yoshi
Hey,
P?
you see that JPEG? You see that JPEG in the
Yeah,
distance?
shit. What is that JPEG? Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That was a bit of a disappointment, actually, for me when we made it to the end, because I'm like, okay, so we're actually not going into Crystal Tower yet. You have to wait until
Well, yeah, but it gives you a little
2.3.
little crumb to keep going.
Yeah. And then we got to Circus Tower, and we all know Circus Tower. But everyone, essentially, you just did mechanics. It was good. Good. And then World of Darkness, unfortunately, we also know that one. That one was cool at launch.
Tough.
I remember finding that to be a really cool place. And I really liked that
the spectacle was something.
Yeah, and like the neon like colors of like the monsters. And then the fact that you could see the last boss arena in the distance. That's the black orb. And then when you defeat it, if you go back, you can see that it's gone. You can see the arena. That's very nice. Yeah. It was just a time of like every patch felt like it was game changing. Like it was because it was such a bare bones game that every patch just added so much.
The pattern hadn't been established.
That's true.
No,
yeah.
And in fact, the pattern wasn't really even established until Heavensward.
No.
Remember the insanity of Ninja being added 2.4?
Oh yeah.
Like
I like that.
And boy, you can tell that was added in a patch. Launched Ninja. and
it wasn't great, but
it took them a while to get it right too.
Yeah.
Well, I would say it wasn't until like mid Heavensward in terms of the patch cycle where it was like in a decent state.
Yeah.
But all the MD management was interesting as tools, I guess.
Yeah, it was a little rough, and we will never get that again. They made that very clear. That was hell.
Like we can't do this.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, the end of the game as well before the fall, huge moment. It almost felt. I mean, I remember how I experienced that day because Lonigan and I, we played through it together. And then when we had reached the end point where the cutscene warning came up, we all moved into the living room, and I would connect my computer to the TV so that we could watch that cutscene together as a movie. We had popcorn.
That's
watched
cool, yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had people to play the game with like that. Where you're all hanging around and play it together.
Yeah, that was good.
Like
and
a LAN party.
Yeah, it was a LAN party. And that was a shocking end to the game, which
ultimately was for nothing.
Didn't mean as much as was implied, but
no, what are you talking about?
It was amazing
cool.
Yeah,
it was cool.
The one part that meant something truly from that final cutscene is the part that felt the least likely to stick, which was Minfilia disappearing.
Right,
she was the one that doesn't feel like she's gonna die.
Yeah,
and yet she is the one who does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
3 times.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yes, that's true.
That's it. For some characters, they just can't die, and then for some, they just can't stop killing.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and that is the end of A Realm Reborn.
Yeah, that was so cool. Where they were like, in A Realm Reborn, they're like, let's try out this ultra super secret magic technique that's definitely like barely been tested. It's super difficult. Oh, it barely worked and we almost died. And then now it's like, snap your fingers and we could just teleport to like, the other side of the universe. Like, okay, all right.
A lot has happened.
You're talking about okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the stakes felt super high at the end of A Realm Reborn because we'd never seen anything as dramatic as this, and you really felt like all of them could be at threat of dying. You know, they could be dead in Heavensward. None of them were dead, except for Minfilia, I guess technically, but she would come back, albeit in a different form later.
Don did lose his arm forever.
That's
Raubon
true.
was a big, but Raubon
and
Telegia
died.
Deserved.
Yeah.
I'm sure the storyline will resolve very satisfactory. The next patch or expansion.
What about that? Heavensward.
Just ignore it for 3 expansions.
Heavensward essentially said, "Oh well, that was dramatic, wasn't it?" Well, it wasn't as dramatic.
No, it
as you
started good though.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you've got to. We're on the run, and then
well, that's actually.
But if you want to go back to any of the cities.
Well, I think we have to mention very quickly that obviously the end of that's the thing that we all remember, but the end part is actually with Haurchefant.
True.
Where we're like, he's like, we can call this the Rising Snows or whatever, or Falling Snows, I think it's
Falling Snows, because Rising Stones.
Yeah.
We never really used that name again. We never really stayed there.
No.
No.
And then Heavensward, we get in, and we meet Edmont.
Edmont.
And we can't go through the whole story of Heavensward.
No,
but you all know
went.
the story.
Mm-hmm.
And this
is when
expansion
people truly.
on.
You go first, Mela.
Okay.
I was just going to say this expansion introduced some more quite fantastic little systems that is listed here, but
Yeah.
you can talk about the MSQ.
Anything else to add, Georgi?
Oh, I was just going to say this was when people really came to realize that the MSQ of Final Fantasy XIV was something special.
That's
I agree
true.
with that.
Yeah. But it was also the expansion where we got some of the most interesting content.
Experimental.
The diadem.
Original died with the emergency missions. Hell yeah!
No,
that wasn't the
emergency
original
mission
one.
was not in the original diadem.
You silly Billy.
Yeah,
the second
first one
Original
had
Diadem Rollo had 0 content. Thank you very much. And
It
we would
had
like to
nothing.
remember it for that.
Well, original diadem had fates.
Just fates.
Essentially. And then there were like glowing mushrooms, like glowing crystals and dark crystals, I think, that you could pick up. And then gathering.
Was that during that one? The trouble with Diadem was the gathering. Couldn't some of the monsters still see through invisibility?
Yeah, there was a lot.
It was really tricky, because it had like the 1 to 5 star mobs rather than levels. It was a very strange place.
No, you remember Yoshi P advertising a lot too. Is like, this is content you can do as a gatherer or battle content. That was like a really big push. Like, oh, you can do both together.
Yeah.
Which just didn't make any sense.
The problem with the original diadem,
Don't believe Yoshi P's lies.
No, it was so mysterious, which was part of the problem. Is like a lot of people didn't know how this worked. There was also like this blood mechanic where like footprints that you would have to track. And no one really knew how it worked, but they knew what the different prompts meant. So you had to do fates, but to like trigger specific things. I don't know if they ever actually mapped them all, because surprise, Diadem did eventually have to shut down because it was so bad. But yeah, it was
just so poorly thought out, because you had a capped instance where if the majority of people wanted to gather, the fates would be incredibly slow because most people aren't battle jobs. And then if it's the other way around, none of the gatherings essentially pointless anyway. It's such a strange place to be.
Yeah, and then the second time
they fixed it.
Second time it came back, they split it into 2. They made one for battle classes only, and it was like Trials of the Matron and Trials of the Fury were the 2 different ones. There was one for battle classes only, which was for the Fury, and then there was one that was shared between battle and gathering, which was the Matron.
I thought everyone spawned into the same place. It's just like what you entered in as, and also you could change to it after while you were already in there. You could actually change to a gatherer once you've done your.
If you went to Fury, you could not change to gatherer classes. You were locked into the Fury mode. I just did a video on it. I was surprised by this too.
I'll take your take your word for it, because I genuinely don't remember that much in detail.
Was this not the one where you had to do objectives and then you could?
Yes.
You could change after that, couldn't you?
That's what I thought. Once you finish all your objectives, you could
all
change.
of them you can change.
But you were
universal.
Forced to do them first.
You could not start as a gatherer in Matron, because that was to promote gathering. Yes. Okay. Anyways, we have done a video on that. The last part is obviously the part that we have now. But is there one more step? Emergency missions.
There was emergency missions was the third
Emergency
step.
missions. Why
Yeah.
don't they tell you what you have to do?
Why? This is a stupid game.
The third iteration of
Emergency
the
missions
diadem
was the
had
third.
emergency
This is where they
missions.
added in sun.
No, the second edition.
Wasn't it the third? They
So-
added it later than the Trials of the Matron, didn't they?
I don't remember
No,
anymore.
emergency missions were from base second version of the
Oh,
diadem.
okay.
Yeah, sure.
Well, this is when they
I
added
don't
in
remember.
sun something gear, which was Biss.
I thought you did. I thought you did a video on this.
I don't remember most things. I remember random
in the
things.
video. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure
And then
it's
the last
second.
edition was the one where they added in the Ethero explosion.
Well, that's the one
with
we have now.
firmament and stuff. That's the one we have now.
Yes.
Which wasn't added in Heavensward.
No.
No,
So we don't have to talk about it now.
no. Okay, Deep Dungeon, Palace of the Dead was introduced as well. Big.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
was like a banger from the start too. People went so hard on that. Like, my
Mm.
God,
It was so good.
much.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Such a different
it
way to play
took-
14.
And it took years for people to be able to solo it.
Yeah. It was a real competition at the time. Now it's like formulaic and everyone does
Oh,
it like day
and-
one.
Red Mage was a game changer in terms of soloing stuff too. Getting that self heal.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Palace of the Dead was, it introduced a whole new way of playing and leveling as well, because you started at 1 or 30. 1? Level 1. You
One.
could go.
They started one.
So you
Which
could
I-
easily
I-
level anything.
I think people didn't appreciate that as much. I really like the
agree.
leveling mechanic inside of Deep Dungeon.
Mm.
I thought that was always really fun. starting from
You were
0.
encouraged to spend more time at lower levels to camp faster, whereas now you have no real, like, it kind of just happens naturally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't think they could ever do this, but I would love a deep dungeon that starts again at 1.
Yeah,
But I
agree.
don't think people would have the patience for it. I think it would need a very rapid leveling process, much faster than it is in Palace of the Dead.
do it. I love the dopamine rush of getting the level up thing.
Yeah.
I miss it now that I
Exactly.
Every mob a new level.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then we had the Adventurer Squadrons, which
Yeah, those were so cool. I went so hard on that. Like, I capped them so quickly, and I
Oh,
was
yeah.
already farming all that. Actually, I don't think you could farm the. Didn't have the.
I didn't
missions.
have exploratory missions or whatever they were called at the time.
no.
Yeah.
Ventures.
Command
it just
missions.
had it just had the normal ones. But I do remember like working really hard on the training regimes and
Mhm.
doing the capstone missions.
Mhm.
Yeah, and all this little secret adventures you could get. And it was there's a huge pool of them. If you ever look it up, insane amount of characters
50.
you can get.
It was very impressive.
But no,
And it
I'm
had
sad.
like fun ways of gaining them. Like if you did the gold saucer stuff, you could get some, and if you did like fishing, you could get some, and like all these different ways of getting them to trigger,
Mm,
which was
yeah.
really neat.
Yeah.
cute. And then they gave up on it 2 expansions later. So
Yeah,
Makes
as
sense.
they
Yep.
usually do. One thing they didn't give up, which we didn't mention, but was added in 2.1, but revolutionized in Heavensward, was treasure hunts, treasure maps.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
When
Well,
they
that's
added
true.
Aquapolis, which was one of the golden eras of my game time in this game.
Yeah.
How did you guys react to the new jobs for this one, for Heavensward, for Machinist?
Ooh, they
Dark
felt very
Knight,
clunky at launch.
Skeleton?
I liked Machinist. I decided that was what I was gonna as my second job to ever level.
That was a big mistake at the time.
I mean, no. When I heard about like 27 button open, I was like, oh god, I'm going to be the best. I'm going to learn. It's going to be so cool and amazing. It was so complicated. Having to add the Ghost Barrel, take the Ghost Barrel off, load, do the like 7 different types of dots, like the shit dot where you applied it, then you had to do as much damage as you could, because then when the dot fell off, it would do that damage. Oh god, Machinist was
It was a time. It was a
really
time.
tough. I do miss it. I like that you're living in darkness now.
Sorry, yeah, my lights just shut off for some reason. So, yeah,
Good time. Astrologian, I think I briefly tried when it came out as well, just to experience a healer, but I certainly found the cards and the RNG at the time frustrating, and I remember
Oh.
in all of my raid teamings and stuff, people would stand at the start and they would I didn't get balance. I'll wait for me to get balance. I need balance before we pull.
Listen, we do the same thing now, just much shorter, with dancers doing their little dance at every poll.
Exactly. At least we know how long that's going to take.
Yeah.
If
They could've
it was
fixed
like a
That's what they could've fixed it.
massive cooldown every time they didn't get balance. Okay.
Astrologian could have worked at the time if it just made it you could redraw for free outside of combat or something.
100%. There was so much they could have done to make astrology good.
It's also before we had cast timers resetting when you wiped.
Oh yeah, that was until Stormblood, I think, right?
I don't remember when that happened, but thank goodness we have it now.
The job's changed so much since it came out. But good times in a way. It was a neat idea. I like when they experiment, and even though it didn't work out, good of them for trying.
Yeah. Right. Anything else you want to say about Heavensward? We kind of have to speed up a little bit.
We do have to speed up. This was when they added in the plot point of the Warriors of Darkness, which didn't pay off for a long time, but eventually did pay off, which was cool.
I like that. I don't need things to immediately pay off.
I think it was better that way, even though it was made like Ceci Oriange. It was cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Stormblood's launch has a very special place in my memory.
Prophecy.
The expansion that made Mela just not play for 2 weeks. Yeah,
Why was that, Why did you play for 2 weeks?
Play the game.
Yeah,
I'm impressed that it soured you for that long, considering you took time off work for it.
Yeah, it was
I think it's because I think I mean, when I first restarted this game, Georgi, and it was pre-work, so it was during the most golden era of my life, I would play this game for like 14, 15 hours a day straight and enjoy every single second of it. It was bliss. So obviously I'd have played a lot before Stormblood. I was thinking, slowing down a bit, I'm a little bit burnt out. And then you get in. And remember that we were talking to Orange Caramel at the time, and he wasn't the most positive influence on our lives.
No, he was trying to sabotage us, I'm pretty sure.
He was trying to sabotage us. Yeah. So he was obviously corrupting our minds as well.
Yeah.
And so the moment when something went wrong, I just thought, I can't. I'm just going.
Yeah.
I just go.
It's
over. Give up.
Yeah, he did come back, but that was because it got extra pissy because I think you can say this now, like Orange was being the most negative about Stormblood, like long before the game even came out. Yeah. He was like, "This is the end of the game."
I'll never forget the moment where I realized Orange was like maybe insane, where he would said on the podcast, we're talking about Stormblood. He was like, "Yeah, it didn't make me feel how Persona 5 made me feel."
Yeah. That's the kind of shit he would say. And he was like, "No, this is WoW's big era." He touted, and so that had been churning for a while. I was pushing back as much as I could, but it's in there. And then when we were playing on launch day, Mela and I had given up the queue. We should mention the queue. Everyone thought the queue works. People queue. Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, we haven't actually mentioned why. The Raubon quest overwhelmed the servers because there was only one NPC to progress the quest, and so the servers crashed constantly, or the duty instance server was always full.
It was a bottleneck that everyone had to do it.
Yes,
and everyone was queuing up, and the queue didn't work because of the cutters. People jumped the queue.
Yeah, so Mela and I gave we played. So there was a moment where we gave up on the queue. We just ran ahead to Raubon and just spammed clicking him. Everyone. Yeah. And then Mela and I was like,
believed in the queue.
Mela and I was like, let's just do Palace of the Dead. That's
exactly what I did. Yeah. I went Palace of the Dead with Red Mage, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
because that was content we could do. So we were doing Palace of the Dead when we suddenly heard Orange go, and he had gotten in. And
that was it.
All emotion went out of Mela's voice.
Yeah.
There was nothing left. And I knew it was over. And I was like, oh, okay. It's over. So yeah, that was a moment. If you were there, you remember.
Screw you, Orange.
Yes, screw you.
You didn't deserve to get in there. He wasn't super wrong about WoW. That was Legion, at least. That was like its only possible resurgence.
Guess so.
I was looking it up and I thought it was when Warlords of Draenor was out and I was going to get so angry, but no. It was Legion, so that was fine.
Okay, yeah.
This is Stormblood 2 reminds me of this is the era where they gave up with tanks in terms of the enmity generation and doing damage. They just gave up.
They did.
They were like,
tanks were
just do
super
damage.
homogenized.
That's it.
After this, yeah.
Yeah.
The moment they changed the enmity in this game, where it was like everything generates enmity. If you do your stance on and hit them with any attack, you're pretty much guaranteed to be top of the aggro meter now. Right?
Yeah.
That you can tell they just couldn't figure out how to make tanks fun, so they just made them DPS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
fun.
what you
So-
DPS to tank, which is
Yeah, it's fine, but
yeah. I think it works.
it was fine. It's just there are things they could do with tanks that would make them feel like tanks and still be a support and DPS, like having a skill that as a dot that makes enemies take more damage, so you have to make sure you keep up your dot on it or whatever. Like things that help the party out as well would be
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
The Stormblood was definitely kind of the era of like they were starting to kind of remove some of the funner stuff from jobs, or like not funner, but like maybe interesting stuff, like cleric stance. I think that was it was dead by this time, along with Stone Skin, right?
I think cleric stance went, well, it had a rework.
It was just a buff.
Yeah,
at that
it became a buff in
Mhm.
Heavensward, and then I think it might have been
Stormblood
removed
might have been
by
when
the
it
end
was
of it.
removed.
Yeah, Stormblood removed.
It was removed by. No, it wasn't removed. I don't think it was removed until.
I don't
Shadowbringers.
remember. Oh, was it that long? It lived on that long. Oh, well, lived on. It was barely used, but
It was Shadowbringers. Yeah, that's when it got
Yeah.
removed. But this was the start of them trimming it back a little bit.
yeah. I mean, cleric stance had stopped being what it used to be. It was a buff now.
Yes.
So, oh yeah, this was also when they started
It
with
was
shared action stuff. Was that Heavensward?
Mhm.
That's why.
It
That's
was
where cleric
removed in
stance went.
Stormblood and replaced with Divine Benison, apparently.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's when we lost. Cross class skills in exchange for role skills.
They
Stormblood
took
was the
all of
homogenization.
They
It was the
started
big battle update.
started taking all of White Mage's unique skills and selling them back to us, and we
Yeah.
couldn't even get all of them back because there
It
was.
was when we
enough
got job
slots.
gauges and shit.
Yeah. Was job gauge? Oh yeah, Stormblood. Yeah.
Stormblood was the remove of Stone Skin. Stormblood removed and changed a lot of the.
Sorry,
Yeah.
for some reason I thought we were like in Heavensward for some reason, so I was
No,
very
no.
confused about
Yeah, Stormblood
everything
was
we
a
were
big
talking
change
about.
for the game. Major change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
I-
that's massive.
But I think this is when healers started getting really kind of iffy. I definitely found them
Yeah.
not as enjoyable. Onward.
Yeah.
Well, this is when they really started to take away our DPS skills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed.
Well,
so
no,
much
they
with Stormblood.
briefly gave you guys a lot more too.
Well, we had a moment
in Stormblood.
in Heavensward. We got like White Mage had Arrow 3, which was like a big AOE dot, and we had. I feel like Heavensward was when we had the most like DPS.
Yes,
going on.
Heavensward is because I still had Bane back then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had Arrow 3 up until Shadowbringers. So that was you got to
Holy
enjoy
shit,
That.
we had it that long.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize you had it that long.
It
Yeah.
feels
I must have still had
forever
Bane
ago.
as well.
Shadowbringers was like that's when they just fucking. That's when healers would just snap.
That was the death.
just
yeah.
heal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Stormblood was the rework. Shadowbringers was the culling.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, I think Stormblood was when they reworked PvP initially for like when PvP became a bit more fun
Yes.
and
Yes.
had more like PvP specific skills and stuff.
Yes. I think. Well, they didn't remove the PvP hotbar. That was Shadowbringers, wasn't it? Or was that?
I think that was
Stormblood.
No,
Stormblood.
that was Stormblood.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
was in Stormblood. Okay, so that's big.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
That was
update to
big,
PvP
yeah.
ever. Yeah.
But we didn't have any of like, I mean, When was CC? Endwalker, yeah.
That's the Endwalker feature.
Yeah,
So that was
CC was Endwalker.
CC was when PvP became really actually enjoyable. So Endwalker was good, but
been a
Stormblood was
long-
the first, like,
Long road.
the first, like, maybe PvP's going to get good now. That was when
Yeah.
they added rival wings in Stormblood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stormblood
Neat.
is when Frontlines became enjoyable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
PvP became decent in Stormblood.
Yeah. We have to also, of course, mention the to some bit of a disappointing storytelling in this expansion, where the promise story was for some, where the promise story
for the base game.
For the base game, the story was split in the base game. Like
People really enjoyed the base Stormblood. Like that was
You did, Ronnie. You
did.
enjoyed it.
You and your ilk enjoyed that.
I think the Stormblood hate was retroactive. That's what it was.
No.
No.
Well, one piece of I'll never not die on this hill. Everyone liked the ending with Xenos.
Yes.
And you all say you didn't, but you did.
True.
Yeah.
It is
I
true.
don't think this
It
is true.
100% is true, and then you all decided no, we didn't like it actually.
I'll
but
just
you
take
all
the
did.
gaslighting and say yes.
No, I
love
refuse.
Xenos. I'll take
I
the
never
gaslighting.
liked
100%
Xenos'
happened.
I'll take the
characterization.
gaslight. I don't
found
care.
it boring, but I found it preferable to what he became later. Actually, no, I kind of like what he
Everyone-
became later because I felt it was funny then.
Yeah,
Everyone liked it at the time.
I accept.
But
I will accept
people
this, not knowing what I
People have
said.
changed their own memories of this over years.
I'll give it during the patches. That's when people were harsher on it. That's
the
distinctly what I
patch is
remember.
fine, yeah, because that's when they like ruined his character
No.
and ruined. a lot of-
No. I know that I didn't like Stormblood because we did one of the last dungeons of the story was Al Amigo. And I would
I think that's
never,
a
and
you
I
thing.
swore up and down that I
No,
would
it's
never
not a him
forgive
thing.
this betrayal.
It didn't mean as much to me as it did to Lakil, but I also did not like it. There was still hope in my heart that we would get some sort of Alamigo field instance, and we never did.
No.
Never.
And the reason
The story might still be, it's still enjoyable, but it was not
Fine.
what was promised.
it's serviceable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a
The
very
thing
good
I-
story.
The thing I never liked about Xenos is he has the thing where you fight him and you cannot win. I hate that
Yeah.
in video games.
I see.
I liked that for Stormblood because it was the only way they could make him feel like an actual antagonist.
Yeah.
I don't mind overwhelming enemies when it's like theatrical like that.
I don't mind that if it could actually just kill me. The problem is, as a healer, it didn't kill me until it's just bullshit mechanic.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay.
I just don't.
I think the first time it's fine. The second time with Yugiri was like, whatever. But I
Yeah.
got it thematically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish they had done like what they probably would have done today. Have one expansion story focus on Al Amigo and Al Amigo alone, and have the second story focus more on the
100%.
Doman
It would have been
plight
so much better.
in the patch stories that followed. That would have been okay.
Stormblood is our BG3 Act 3 expansion.
Yeah, it is messy.
That's
It is
specific
messy.
with these references.
After some really good early expansions, we got a really messy, not very good expansion.
This being said, though, I still like the Stormblood story. I just don't like how it's structured. So that's the difference there. I still think it's a good story.
Yeah, I agree.
I like it for a bit. I like a bit of it. It's okay.
I'm talking about the expansion story specifically, not
The,
patch
the
stories. But I
expansion
like the patch
stories,
story as
it's
well.
enjoyable enough. I
Yeah.
think Stormblood
I think-
more just added really important features to the game, which is why it stands out more than.
I think
Yeah.
this is like some of the height of 14 gameplay too. Was during
Yeah.
Stormblood like that. I
Mhm.
feel like
Gameplay-wise,
content
I
when it's
agree.
funnest. Like the community was definitely not as big at the time compared to what we have now.
It felt more passionate though.
But I remember people being really, really into playing Stormblood.
Yeah, because there was a lot of good content to
A
do.
lot of the hype was because, I mean, Red Mage was introduced, which was like huge.
People were
That's the most
bonkers.
classic job that there is in Final
Yeah.
Fantasy.
Surprising that it wasn't added earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really.
We also got Blue Mage as well in
Yeah,
Stormblood.
a limited
That-
job.
Yeah.
That
People
was
weren't happy
crazy.
about that.
Yeah.
Game that added in a was it 2 or 4.55, something like that.
Yeah, it was right at the
Uh,
tail end.
Yeah, right at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super cool though. Like I did so much Blue Mage stuff, like
Mhm.
waiting for Shadowbringers. It
Yeah.
was
Blue
really,
Mage was
really fun.
very
Blue
cool
Mage
on
was-
launch,
was
and
good,
unfortunately has suffered the Square Enix way of doing things in that it's pretty much left to rot other than we'll add in 10 levels, a handful of abilities maybe, and like one
It feels a
carnival
little
stage.
half-hearted nowadays. It does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
compared to
Hmm.
what was offered at launch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was so fun just going around power leveling.
Yeah.
It was much more busted at launch too. Like you could do
Mm-hmm.
a lot more.
Oh, the just
Do you
like
remember
the skill chains people came up with where it
Yeah.
was like coat yourself in oil and then do this skill to increase your damage, then do this skill
Mhm.
to double damage, and then do this, and like the self-destruct way of getting through content was hilarious.
What?
Yeah, and
Wasn't
they had to
there-
nerf it?
There was something wrong when Blue Mage was launched. People could cheese it. Do you remember the method for cheesing? I guess that's
Using
just
what exactly?
leveling. There was a way
Leveling?
to
Yeah, you
Oh,
could
yeah.
switch. You could switch to another job and
Yeah.
get the experience on Blue
If
Mage.
you
Yeah.
went,
there
yeah,
it
you
is.
killed it, and then while it was dying, because there's like a 5-minute delay between everything in this game, you could switch jobs, and then you get the XP.
I see. That's what
But
it was.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah, it did work. A lot of people leveled very quickly because of that. I'll just again, we have to go a little faster. So Eureka,
Oh my god, yeah, we did.
it
Jesus
happened.
Christ.
Some of the best memories.
I agree with that.
How
agree.
bad it was.
I agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah,
Eureka was.
in adversity, we were brought together.
It was worth it for the memories, I guess.
Yeah. We'll
No,
never feel that again.
No.
I'm glad you enjoyed it because I never did, and I
No.
did not stick around for it.
It's it's still bad.
You have
I
to
don't
do
get
it
It's
with
so terrible
friends.
content.
Do it with
It's
friends,
not.
and it is fun.
Yeah.
That's
But it's-
all I
it's-
I
can
did
say.
it with
was a vibe.
friends. I did it with friends.
They weren't fun enough.
recently, and
They weren't.
Okay,
good
well, you're
enough
speaking
friends.
very poorly about our community right now.
Well, they didn't do a good enough job.
They
I did
didn't
it
do
with
it well
I
enough.
did it with our community too, and had a great time. Maybe I
You
just
had
like
to
our
do it at
community
the
better.
time.
Jurgen.
Listen,
You had to
I
do
only
it at
had
the
a good
time.
time because I did it with the community.
Right.
Again, those streams we did back in the day, generally some of our funniest moments, I think.
Yeah.
But the actual gameplay sucked. I hated doing
See,
it.
yeah, that's my opinion on Eureka. If you're in Eureka for the content, that's not the right reason
no.
to be in Eureka.
No, it's like a vibe, and I don't
Yeah.
think Bosnia ever managed to capture it.
No.
In
that's-
all instances, Bosnia is better than it. In every single way, Bosnia is a better piece of content. But it didn't capture the same. Like
Well,
Animos was
see,
just a vibe.
That's the thing. The reason the community in Eureka became better than the community in Bosnia is because that was the only thing that could save you.
Well,
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Whereas in
it-
Bosnia, you
true.
actually have content to do that is
Yeah.
good.
Bosnia's way better.
You had the thing is, you had enough time to just stare at chat and do fucking nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Exactly.
very. It was a complete
Like,
waste of your time.
it
But
was-
it,
It was
Just-
like
I
going
actually
into like a VR chat or something and just talking to people. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did
Yeah.
content
Which is
there because
actually
it was
the-
there.
It's kind of the thing I think is the problem with Bosnia. There is no downtime.
I agree with
Which is,
that.
Yeah.
they went in the complete opposite direction to Eureka. I think they went too far. I think they need to find a middle ground in whatever group content they make in Dawn Trail.
I agree because, like in Bosnia, unless you happen to be like the third person in the line of the train, you'd miss the content by the time you caught up to the train, and they'd already be moving on to the next one, and you couldn't teleport fast enough. It needs to show you where the fate's going to spawn, and have a lock on it until like for a little while, so you can get it was too much. It was stressful almost.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's Stormblood.
An
it's
important expansion.
Important
A real-
expansion,
really
but
good
Stormblood built the foundation for what we have in the game today. Everything in terms of our monotonous cycle of always being able to get exactly what we predict started in Stormblood.
yes.
Some of the best MSQ patches, though. Still stand by that one. Prelude and
Arguably.
Violet.
Time to
That's,
think
that's
about
still
this.
up.
I would need to remember them better.
Yeah,
I would
to go
I
through
would
that.
need more time to argue with this about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we do
about
not
it.
have the time.
I win by default then.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you do. That's fine.
That's fine. You'll
You
get that
can
one.
you can win.
You can have that victory in your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Shadowbringers, huge. I mean, just probably the biggest expansion launch in 14's history to date.
And yet the smoothest.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
learned.
This one was so smooth.
That's true.
Was it
Shadowbringers was quite. It was-
Shadowbringers was perfect.
No.
At least for me, once I was in,
Yeah. No.
I
Yeah.
had no issues. And I even got into Holman's
Yeah.
to Switch because they added trusts, which we'll speak about.
it-
But because they added this in, it was so easy to do the game.
It was. No, wait. Are
It was
you
great.
gaslighting me? Are you right?
No,
No,
I
don't you
had a
remember
real big issue. I had no
Yoshi P-
issues with it.
Even he explicitly talked about the launch of Stormblood being like rough, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do a lot more this time for Shadowbringers to make it a smooth launch.
Oh yeah.
I think they largely got there.
I
Yeah.
think the issues that I'm thinking about were like a patch day in Shadowbringers where like everything like failed because it was after the
Maybe.
big wave of people.
But the launch was very smooth.
Yeah,
you
the
got
launch.
on, you were in the queue, and you were in.
Yeah.
There
I don't
were many
remember.
decent
I don't
use
remember being.
Shadowbringers launch.
I don't remember being stuck anywhere. But yeah.
I had a
okay.
good time.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the absolute height of.
I mean, we don't really have to explain
expansions.
why Shadowbringers was such a big deal, but it's.
No.
I mean,
No.
Shadowbringers.
It got us to the crescendo of the lore and the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has Emmett Selk, who is to this is now often considered one of the greatest villains in the series and
Yeah.
characters in general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything about this one was good. They made a
Except-
villain who just wandered around with us.
Except we got
Nah.
the Nier raid.
There is the yeah.
The funniest raid. You can tell Yoko Taro was so done with this shit.
Yeah.
In every interview where he talked about playing 14, he's like, I just keep dying. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's such like it's a grueling task for him to fucking make shit for this game.
Yeah. It was cool at the time though. I remember like the
It's
fights.
very cool spectacle.
Yeah, it's very true to the source material in terms of like how the attacks
true,
work
yeah.
and stuff. But when you've done it once, you get over this very quickly, and
It
that's when you
takes too long.
realize how long these are.
It's not a very good raid.
They did all the cool stuff in the copied factory, like the first raid. Like they did I think at the first, like they had a collab song, I think,
Mhm.
of Mash of what's that one?
All
14?
of the raids have a mashup between a Nier and a 14 song as the final boss theme.
Yeah, but they were doing like the one really big song in the first raid. It's not answer. Weight of the World Prelude.
Wait for the words.
Yeah,
from,
Weight of the World. That's
Yeah.
from
Prelude, yeah.
yeah.
And they gave you all like the 2B gear outfit stuff the first raid. And I was like,
Yeah,
guys,
and you know what, Rodo, I got that on the first fucking day. And how long did it take you?
Yeah.
Months.
Oh yeah, I also got it on the
Did
first day. Yeah.
you just had to get the coffer. It wasn't that hard.
No.
Yeah, but you didn't get it as early as I got it, and that's my victory over
I
you
guess,
today.
I don't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, no. I mean, as a Nier fan and Drakengard fan, I thought it was neat.
I liked the
It was
like
great.
concept of it. It just was weird because it was like baked into the actual lore of the first. I think that was
Yeah,
the thing I
that-
had an issue with.
Well, they didn't really try that hard to bake it into the lore.
Well,
it
no,
just kind of
that
happened.
made it even worse.
Yeah.
You know what I haven't thought about? How much of the third lore book will be dedicated to this?
Oh,
Hoping almost
God.
none.
all of it, every single page.
Oh god.
There'll be a
80%.
gratuitous photograph of 2B Gurgi, a really highly detailed, curated image of her.
Hopefully it'll just like be like one page or maybe a half page, so just like a mention of like a strange occurrence in Kalusha. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. That's so Nier. Yeah, and obviously the story, which is really good, which is what caused a lot of people to jump to 14, like a jump in player numbers we've never seen before,
Yeah,
which
I
led.
think-
Yeah.
I think specifically after like 5.3 came out, there was like another really big boom
Mm-hmm.
with COVID and everything.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
was
yeah.
the COVID era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
yeah.
a lot of disenfranchised players from competing MMOs jumped into Final Fantasy 14,
Yep.
Yeah.
and we've never seen the game feeling better than that. It was
No.
wild. Like it was so big.
And then came Endwalker, and that's where we had some trouble at launch.
Yes, this one was a little bit rougher,
This,
but not too bad.
No, it wasn't too bad, but
You
it's
still
what you'd
able to play on
expect.
day one and get in and get.
What trouble at launch other than it being delayed 2 weeks?
Well, that being one.
That's a reasonable issue, especially with people who have taken time off.
They told us a week before that it would be 2 weeks. Or was it 2 weeks? It was
Yeah,
very
they were
short
also
notice.
2 weeks. They
2
told
weeks.
us 2 weeks before.
Which is still very short notice.
That's not good notice.
Yes, I agree.
And yeah, it had long queue times and a few. There was definitely more issues with people disconnecting.
And the queues were like tens of thousands. Like you had to wait for. I remember waiting for hours and hours to get in, which never happened
The
before.
queues were long because this was after the massive spike in people joining.
Yep.
Yeah. They weren't ready for it.
No.
Well, it's a balance they have to hit. It's like, are we ready for it, or like, do we have the money to? Can we sacrifice the money to buy servers that are only going to be there temporarily? Like, can we rent them because they can't? It's not like they want to buy something they're not going to need forever.
Yes, I mean it's fair, but having a bad launch experience would also make someone who's imagine being in level 27 and you just want to carry on with the game, and then you got this 25,000 person queue.
Yeah,
that's
true. And that's true. And Chad is correct that they did try to obtain new servers, but this was at a time when just like there weren't servers available. Because it was COVID times.
Well, they literally told us before, months before, that they were expected that there would be issues with Endwalker because parts were impossible to get for servers and stuff. So yeah, it was expected, but still bad.
Unfortunate.
I mean, the average guy would not get that announcement. They're not as tuned into Yoshi P's messaging as we are.
That's true, actually.
So there you go. We shouldn't talk too much about Endwalker because we will give a post-mortem on Endwalker at a later time when the last patch comes out. But
okay,
you should.
We'll do a proper in-depth review of Endwalker. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it was all right.
Yeah, it was all right. It was
acceptable.
Yeah, it was acceptable. I would probably put Shadowbringers above Endwalker, but it's too unless something magical happens in the next patch.
That's not an uncommon opinion.
Sorry, what did you say, Rollo?
So if I'm including patches, I'd put Shadowbringers above Endwalker.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, for the future, we don't have much time for the segment because we might have to. Thinking about the post show now. We'll just see what happens with the second part of this. For the future, they have said 10 more years, so we are expecting at least 3 or 4, 5 more expansions.
1 every 2 years should be 5 more expansions.
Yeah, well, yeah.
If this is the start of 10 years as well.
Yeah.
4 perhaps if they slow down.
We have seen.
Well, no, it's essentially already 2.5 years, Mailer, so it's probably going to be 4.
Yeah,
that's
4.
true. Yeah, we'll see. And
we have seen what a game that is 10 years older, essentially. They've already. I'm talking about WoW, and they already have a much wider perspective than 14 has. Like didn't he say like 20 or 30 more years or whatever? Like there was some big numbers thrown out.
They're talking out their ass at this point.
They are talking out their ass, but they are starting a whole story arc for WoW, and that game
have plans.
That game is at the point where 14 will be in 10 years. So there is hope beyond 10 years, which is kind of crazy. Depending on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Will say, though, I think if you play WoW, you can tell that this is managed by like a AAA gaming studio, where it gets that much attention and that much care into it. Not that 14 doesn't. But when you play 14, you can be like, this is like some B company or something, like is Square Enix poor?
No,
I do agree with you. The fact that Square Enix doesn't put the money into this that they should, we should have. The biggest team in Square Enix should be working on 14. It should have the majority of their staff.
I agree.
This is the absolute money maker for them. They're coming out with NFT games and shit like RPGs that fail day one that they're putting billions of dollars into.
That is frustrating.
And they need
Square
to put that
Enix
into this game. We could be getting like
Rant time.
3
Yeah,
dungeons
shut
a
up.
patch. We could be getting patches every like 2 months if we wanted to.
Mhm.
They could completely revamp this game's cycle. But it's becoming. You've seen how much shorter and smaller each patch has become over the last 10 years.
I don't necessarily know if that's all true because like you would need to train new staff. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you're expecting that you would need to get what you want.
They are training new staff. They're getting the junior members do some of the writing. We've seen how good they are. They need to keep bringing people in like this. They need to continue what they're doing, but at a greater scale. If they need the money, they should be allowed to have it.
I agree with you. Square Enix make so many idiotic decisions that it's just baffling, and you lose money that 14 has brought in. Let's not hide
Exactly.
that 14 is a big money maker
all their money,
and
pretty
allows
much.
Square Enix to like stumble over themselves with all these like weird like fucking Bitcoin.
If we all left,
shit.
Square Enix would dissolve as a company.
Yeah, they probably would.
yeah.
If 14 just
All
suddenly
of the
stopped.
money is from 14. So you need to put the money you're making from this project back into this project. You're doing some great things with like a graphics overhaul.
Well,
But
there
keep
is
putting in that
there is
effort
a
and
new
money.
man in charge now, and
Oh, yeah,
obviously
Guitar Hero.
we don't get to see his like. I'm sure we're still following schedules made by the old dude, still the old president,
Yeah.
but starting next year probably we'll start to see more of his like strategy for things. So we can be hopeful that maybe this was a boomer thing, that maybe this guy will sort out.
I am hope. I mean, some of the changes they've made I really liked. Like whoever's doing all the modern UI work, I love what they're doing.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the grey UIs and have more of these like the achievement log and whatever. There, I like that.
Also, I have to remember the dev team is working with a very difficult beast.
System.
Yeah, this
Well, that, yeah,
fuck
Like it's a difficult, like you're essentially asking any new devs that join the team mailer to learn a system that was like archaic 10 years ago.
yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Well, but they can. I mean, over time. I mean, remember, God, there's so much we've gotten over the last few. Like going back
It's
to like
impressive.
vanilla Realm Reborn, you wouldn't recognize the game essentially, other
No.
than the location
Yeah.
you're in. But yeah,
Yeah, it'd be slightly lighter shade because of that weird graphics change they did in Heavensward.
oh yeah, that's true.
That's
it will be
true.
DirectX 9. Yeah. It's I think despite everything, 14 is getting a lot of good updates. We're getting die channels in the next.
That's amazing.
Yeah, next patch.
Think of how much gear there is in this game.
Yeah, that's a lot of that. That means they've gone back to retroactively add die channels to every single
That's
piece
true.
of gear that can be dyed. So that's
It can be hard. Yeah, it can be hard to put into perspective the fact that like it sometimes feels like we're not getting that much because whenever they update anything that is old,
yeah.
they have to update everything from now all the way back to A Realm Reborn. That's like a lot of manpower that like they cannot put into something new, unfortunately.
Yeah, but the graphical update as well, which is huge. They're
Yes.
going back as well to older Realm Reborn zones to retouch everything back there to make it look good. So,
I mean, they're polishing it up around the edges, and
that's
is
showing
commendable.
they are actually putting money
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
retroactively making things better as well. It is
Yeah.
happening, but it's slow.
They're doing stuff to make sure that like more people will want to keep playing this. If it keeps in the same form that it is as is now, it is only going to lose players eventually.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes. We will see. Right now, 14 is in a good place, though. So
It's in a good place.
Forward
despite
to a Realm Reborn Classic.
No, that'll never happen.
No, shut up.
That's when we know we hit the big time.
no,
When we know we've hit the end is when the Rumble Ball Classic comes out.
yeah,
But Dawn Trail is a scary expansion.
it's scary.
It keeps me on edge.
I think they're gonna pull it out.
I'm sure it'll be fine, but it's always
I
it's
couldn't-
always good to be a little
Yeah,
bit worried.
that's
I think.
fine. Yeah, just don't fall into
Couldn't
the.
live
Remember,
like-
we just talked about Orange, so be careful.
Oh no, he's not. He's not.
Don't
here
do what
anymore.
he did. Okay, well that's 14. Now we can finally talk about ourselves for a second.
Finally.
Yay!
Yay!
God, we're amazing.
Yeah, dude, aren't we cool? 9. It's been 9 years.
Gosh. It's in my
You guys are sapped
low 20s.
Mm-hmm.
This is the aesthetic of year 3 speakers thumbnails.
Yeah.
See, that's kind of
I
aesthetic.
literally just went into like a folder that had like old assets in it and just pulled everything in there. I put some new one in there too.
Hell yeah.
So here's some beautiful assets from ye olden days. Yeah, there was a lot of ugly. We're gonna look at some stuff, but again, for those that don't know the story, this you see. I mean, okay, for those, okay, there might be someone who's watching right now who has never seen this woman in the like not Mela, but in the slide with the purple hair. That's Vero, and she's the second half of
the mother.
She's the mother of
As
speakers.
As she likes to be called.
She hates
My
that.
dearest.
The mother of Idolin.
Vero and I, we were doing a Circus Tower, and a podcast that I'd been listening to was shutting down, and I was like, I don't know where to go now. I need to find another podcast, and Vero said something like, "Why don't you just make one yourself?" I went,
Not the solution to your problem, by the way.
No, I was like, no. Well,
You're like, I want to listen to more, but
yeah.
It solved his problem. He didn't have time to listen to any anymore.
No,
I
don't listen to
You
any.
want to listen to more? How about some work?
Yeah.
And that's
Just
what
throw away
happened.
childish things. Say, well, just make your own then.
Yeah,
And then you're like, yeah, all right, I will.
and then I just made this really ugly HUD UI, and then we were too afraid to do it with cameras.
Right.
Live.
We did it, yeah,
Oh.
both live and with cameras. So we
It's
were
scary.
we did it voice only for the first 2 episodes, and it is very bad. It's so bad, in fact, I was trying to find, because I've played this clip before. I don't know where I've put it now. I've archived it somewhere, but I just can't find it. So I couldn't find it for today. But it's very bad. I sound very Norwegian. And it was meant to be a FC podcast, which is the most niche thing. We dropped that concept after episode 1. So,
Good idea.
That's when we realized this isn't working. And then episode 3 was when we were on camera for the first time. And that's when we brought Lonigan along. And then we did that for 14 episodes. Vero, I think, dropped off around episode... No, she might have been there until 13th, I think. And then she fell off. And then we had a long hiatus after 14. Because I'm like, okay, well... We had like maybe 2 or 3 viewers at the time, maybe 3 or 4, and then we stopped, and then we came back in 2015. No, we didn't come back in 2015. Did we have a whole year off? I don't remember exactly. 2016, sorry. Yeah, we came back in 2016. Then I released Fall and Rise, and that's when Orange was... I don't remember how Orange was pulled into the podcast. I have no memory anymore of how that happened. He was in the FC. So I think...
say you met him at the roleplay thing? With the guard roleplay? Or was that just Mela?
No, that was Mela.
Mela.
I already knew Orange then. He was on the raid team that I was in at the time. And I think we were literally just saying, what if you just showed up on the podcast? No, he actually wanted to be on the podcast. It was Mela that we later
forced me on.
in.
I think for Orange, you just needed someone
We just
to
asked.
host with.
Yeah, I think
So
we
you just... I think you just...
yeah,
Because you were restarting, and
Well,
you only,
Vero.
I think at that time you only had...
Yeah, we
Vero
didn't
had
have
gone,
Vero.
hadn't she?
Yeah.
So you had only Lonigan, so...
So we had to get...
And now he is
someone
not very
else.
reliable, so...
Lonigan was so unreliable. Like, he would be like, I would set everything up on the day, and then he would call me like an hour before airtime, be like, I can't make it. or I'm watching a football game. I'll be there in 3 hours. I'm like, okay, well, this isn't helping. This isn't working.
You needed
so
orange.
I needed orange. Got orange, and then we did the RP in Limsa, which we didn't
good
talk about. But that
times.
was we made a whole RP scene. I'm pretty
There's
sure. Or at
so
least
many
we
important things. I used to
maintained
cook
one.
boiled eggs in front of Lukeel,
Yeah.
and then Orange would chastise him, but then sometimes Aurum Vale would come along,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a
Fell.
creep.
Yeah.
And then it culminated in Lukeel publicly executing Aurum Vale, and then we all went on the run.
Yeah.
Wild
And
times.
that was the end. It was like a thing. It was just a thing. Then.
Everyone joined in. There was Walt Denham, the weed seller. Loads of people joined in.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah, and it was like because it felt like
That
there was
briefly devolved into that RP group as well.
That
We
was when
sort of
it's-
got pulled into that RP group.
there
God,
was
there was so. Do you remember the Do you remember the like ERP hotel?
Yeah. I do.
What?
Which happened
As-
because of what we had done. We started
Yeah.
something that we lost control over. Like it was initially
so many role players were there.
a lot of role players on Ragnarok at the time were very spread. Like they were like little groups of 2, 3, 4 that were just like usually up at the Drowning Wench.
Yeah.
And we just stood still, Orange and I, as guards in like uniform, and then people would just walk up to us and roleplay, and then we would just be like, okay, I'll bite. We'll do this, and then it just evolved, and then everyone wanted to be part of this group. Everyone wanted to do the roleplay with the funny guards, and then there was just we didn't have to. And again, we stood still. And all of this drama played out in front of us, like all this shit with.
It made a great stream.
Yeah, it was very fun. But then, unfortunately, there was a side of horniness that spun out of it, and it just. I mean, we were not part of it. We'd made it, this monster, but we were not part of it. So we just kind of watched as it slowly fell apart. And I think it all just.
They went hard on that hotel because.
Yeah.
They like bought a mansion and like.
It went real.
It went big.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Great times though.
Yeah, and it was during that. It was right after, I think, that. Oh, it might have been during, because I think we were just standing in Limsa when we asked you. It was like, okay, Lonigan's not coming in.
You didn't ask me.
No, well, we said, we were talking, Orange and I, and then we were like, well, we need someone to fill in Lonigan's place, maybe. And then we just said, Mela, you're stepping in. You're stepping in, right? You're stepping in. And Mela said, I think you even said no first. And then we said, nonsense, you will. Show up here at this time. And that's literally how that... In Mela's first episode, he barely speaks. Probably shocked at what has happened.
Yeah.
He's just suddenly...
There was a lot that happened. But the good thing about those days was it wasn't particularly popular.
No.
So it wasn't as daunting a task.
It was like 10 people, maybe.
It was a very small viewership. So it wasn't as daunting, but it is still a lot to be asked to...
You showed up,
Mela,
though.
Dance monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if you didn't. Imagine if you didn't.
Who knows what I'd be doing?
Yeah.
Been bored.
Well, that universe
Saturday
exists
nights.
somewhere.
That it does. It does. Okay, so then we had Mela, and then Oren. No.
Yaz.
Yes.
We pulled Yaz in because Lonigan was disappearing.
Oh, we
Yaz
wanted
was
to
saying he was going
that
to leave.
Yaz just said like I can do everything, and you at that point our vetting process was very minimal.
He just sent an email out of the blue. Like we'd never asked for anything, and he just was like, "Hey, do you need a
sure
new host?" Yeah, so that's what happened, and then Orange was
disappeared,
playing
so
with the
we needed
idea of
someone.
leaving already.
Yeah.
So that's why we accepted it. It's like, oh, how fortuitous! We got this email.
Yeah, and it's like okay.
Um,
Then Orange did push away,
yes,
and then we started our proper. My favorite part of anything we ever do is the interview process. Oh,
well, I should also say that moment in time when it was you, me, and Yaz is sort of when I start the timeline of like speakers like proper. Like that's when the show started to get more structured and we
When
actually
you
started
add
treating
real,
it.
you added real shows.
Yeah.
You produced
Fall and
real
Rise-
content.
Yeah.
Fall and
Fall
Rise
and Rise.
preceded that, though.
Yes. Fall and Rise.
but it was
Fall and Rise had been released in 2016.
it was very
late.
tentative though.
Yeah. Well, we
Mm.
were
And then after
getting
that,
a boost.
he really started going
you-
for them.
You should utilize some of the footage from that interview that you and Orange did.
The interview that we did.
Didn't you get asked to be on another podcast? Talk about Fall and Rise?
they were on LBR.
Yeah, we were on LBR. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No
which
one's going to claim that
episode.
footage anymore.
I don't know
No,
if
was that audio only?
Yeah, that was audio only. We called in for that.
Yeah, but you can do that.
And I was so
Yeah, that'd be
nervous.
fun.
I had to have Lonergan and Orange there, and they said nothing during the
Yeah,
whole
it was
interview.
very funny.
Yeah.
Called into your favorite podcast.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah.
That was a
Let's
cool
react
time.
to
That's
that
when
one
we
day.
thought we were going to be big.
Yeah. We should react to that one day, actually. I'll try see if I can find it. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. So we start with that, and then
This is getting interviews. We're getting
doing
Rollo on
interviews.
board.
We're getting Rollo now to replace Orange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love interviews.
I don't know why.
There was
That
just
was
something.
one of so for that interview. The main thing was we asked you to come with a great discussion topic.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Rollo talked about
Do you
previous.
still remember that?
Like, yeah, he
Yeah.
talked about like references in 14, in other Final Fantasy games that were in 14.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had that great discussion one day too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was actually someone recent, I think.
You're right.
I'll be honest too. Only reason why I applied because I saw you guys ask on the podcast, which I was watching at the time. And two, it's because I just had a storm hit, like a hurricane hit my house, and I was making my own podcast at the time.
Oh yeah.
I was that I did with my friends, and I had to stop doing that because I didn't have access to my computer anymore, essentially because of the storm ruining my house.
Right.
And so I applied for it. I was like, oh, why not? I don't
Yeah.
know. I want to make something still.
yeah.
So
And here you are.
thanks to that hurricane, here I am.
Yeah,
Damn.
everything is always this weird turn of events.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Mm.
Uh,
What did you see in Rollo that convinced you that he was the one?
Just a bright, happy young accountant boy.
yeah.
Where'd that go?
I don't know. Well, I'll tell you where it went, Georgie.
Yeah.
Eureka, the sangria.
No, I will say
loved those times. Oh, I'm gonna go and get some rum and sangria and play Eureka.
I do like to think I brought particular rancid vibes to the streams.
Not early on, but
That
you
made
do
it a
now,
bit
yeah.
more interesting. you know?
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually you did.
Yeah, that's true. That
To
would
be
come
honest,
later,
Rollo,
but-
I'd have to dive into the archives to look at the competition at that
I
time.
I
You were
remember
obviously the strongest person.
Yeah.
in particular when we were really trying to chase partner. That's when I was like, I don't know, let's just be a little unhinged or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it sort of worked. I don't know.
It
Yeah,
worked.
It
it
worked.
did. It did. It did.
We had some insane Eureka conversations.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that's not been archived anywhere. We only have the clips. Yeah, and then we had Rollo, and then Yas went away, and then we got
We had to get Georgie.
Georgi.
And Georgie was another round of interviews.
Interviews your favorite.
Mhm.
Ah, now for your one,
Yeah.
did we have to do a great discussion for that as
Yes,
well?
we did.
Yeah,
Do
we
you
did.
remember what it was?
I've been trying to remember it.
I'm trying to remember Georgie.
I can tell
Georgie.
you.
Georgie's one is more
This is
of
your
a-
favorite thing that I do. Pop quiz.
Was
Did
it
you do a pop quiz?
No, I remember
Oh,
what it is.
right.
The pop quiz is you trying to guess
Oh.
what it is.
I wasn't there for that one.
Georgie.
I remember
was-
the interview, but yeah, you have to tell me.
It was about the future of limited jobs.
Oh.
Yes.
Whoa, yeah.
That was
I do remember
Oh.
that now.
It's when I first proposed Shepherd or the equivalent. I can't
Mm.
remember exactly.
And that's how you won me, I think. Shepard.
Oh, that's how I won you over.
A 1.0 job coming back.
I mean, I'm surprised because like my schedule is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
the fact that you considered me even despite that is weird.
That was the biggest draw.
Oh, I found it. Yeah,
I do remember that. There was a lot of discussion, but we were like, let's try. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We'll just have to look for another one, you know. So we did it.
Well, yeah.
Another
here
one.
you
You'll
are.
never find another me.
No, that's true.
Or
No.
That's true. That's true.
No, listen. Once I'm gone, like that's it. The insanity will end. You'll be free.
Mm.
Rollo?
No, but you've already threatened that you're never going. You're going to be here for a very long
No.
time.
God.
I specifically said, and I will always stand by this, I will only be here as long as one, I'm enjoying myself and want to be here, or two, and two, people like me being here. The second one of those is done, I'll leave. Simple as that.
Guys,
There you go.
Love-
Happy
don't
anniversary,
hate on
everyone.
Rollo. So, Rollo, you were Saturday, the 28th of October, 2017, 3 to 4 p.m. in BST. Yogi, you were Saturday, 16th of March, 2019, 2 till 3.
There you go.
Those
For those,
were
that
the
is
most
completely
fateful-
pointless information.
No,
but-
you need to remember this, guys. Put it on the wiki. These are the most pivotal moments of these young lads' lives.
Okay. Yeah.
Shout out to my dog that used to appear on stream sometimes too, Ruby. I do miss her.
I miss
Oh,
Ruby.
yeah,
Ruby was
Ruby.
cute.
Passed away during
Yeah.
Shadowbringers, unfortunately. It was very sad.
Yeah.
Very
That'll-
sad. I miss-
On a less sentimental moment, I miss the post-show headband and Pharos Sirius.
I miss Farrah Sirius more than
yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
The
I-
post-show headband was cool, but Farrah Sirius meant everything, and I don't know what you've done to him.
It's somewhere around here. I know I still have it.
Really disappointing.
Drive me crazy because I see it occasionally whenever I'm going through my stuff.
Okay. We have some.
Ah.
I said we were going to look at some thumbnails as well today.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what
Let's
we're going to
dissect
do.
some thumbnails.
Yeah. What's actually going to be interesting is trying to remember what the fuck we were talking about in some of these episodes, because they're very bewildering.
Well,
Um,
it's not just that. It's also trying to figure out the tangent that your brain went, because I'm going to guess that some of them might not have been necessarily even discussed, but your
True.
brain thought that they were relevant.
True. I had to cut some out because there's so many. But also, I just found this, which. Oh, okay.
Someone
hello.
donated $1.
Hold on. I'll get you sorted here.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Oh.
So. Oh, yeah. All screens are. Yeah. All right. Yeah. This is. This is the live overlay for the first episode.
And that's
It's
good.
Who
so
donated
fucking
$1?
ugly.
Yeah, who's someone?
Someone that was just testing the alert.
It was Lukia's mum.
Oh, so it wasn't a real person.
No, that's not real. This is
That's even
this
sadder.
isn't from the live view. This is from like me testing it. Do you love the
Mhm.
screen capture of the like Twitch chat, but it still has the bar at like it isn't going all the way up? It's a lot happening.
I like this old UI where you use the in-game box for duties as
I
Yeah.
wish
a frame.
you chose to use Melty Limpser as the background.
Mm,
It's close.
yeah.
He didn't. Well, he never really appreciated that it was so melty back
No, I
then.
didn't realize back then.
No.
And here is
Thanks for following BDD79FC4.
Where's Equestria guy? Is that on here?
Oh yeah,
this
Pop Turbo, latest follower. Thanks.
this I was surprised that the duty list was introduced so early. Like
Oh, that's one of the best. I missed that too. It was a clever way of showing the main topic
It's
and the side
so
topic.
pointless,
It is
Mela.
Oh, isn't it cute though? It's
it
charming.
is cute. It is part of the old era. It's
Yeah.
We had it for a long time, like up until
I think charm is important.
that's true. We still have charm.
We just have. But just.
I-
Oh no!
I just thought
Oh,
I'd just
yeah,
show this
baby.
because
I hate
this
this one. I hate lasagna. Fucking lasagna face.
Lasagna is the most
Yeah.
terrifying.
Okay.
I hate her.
this is in
Jay
memory.
Leno as the stupid flying big chin thing.
Remember we did that so much. I hated that. Trying to farm
The-
that shit, fucking annoying.
I don't know if Mela was there. I was definitely.
Oh, yeah. no, it was crazy.
I
We were trying to
there
get
for
that
a bit
crystal.
of Jay Leno because I remember you talking about him.
Yeah. but I think you had to. You
Yeah, this was
have a
always in the
normal sleep
ridiculous
schedule.
hours.
Oh yeah, it
yeah.
was. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had
because we
to-
used to stream for like 10 hours every fucking Friday.
Oh, God.
And
Ah.
I just bring this here because the 8 playthrough, unfortunately, is stopping
ultimately, yeah.
now. So
Ah.
we've lost too much
Aw.
to continue. So
It's a shame.
yeah, rest in peace. But at least you can watch like up to like
You'll always get the vibe. And then the
3/4
ending's
too.
probably not that good.
No, I mean it's just
What
for
is
the
the
vibes.
thing-
The
what-
vibes are excellent in that playthrough.
I can't
Hmm.
remember. What is the thing in the background that looks like a hand reaching out to the like symbol for Islam?
Oh, that's the lunatic Pandora, isn't it?
Is that what that
But
was?
why does it have that symbol?
It's the
'Cause they're
it's the
reaching
lunar
for-
cry. The lunar cry. Remember the?
Are they wolves
Okay.
howling?
No, it's the lunar cry.
That-
It's the thing coming out of the moon. I think it's
Oh.
not actually something coming up. It's something
So-
coming out of the moon.
How often does the lunar cry happen?
Okay, we are not talking about the lore of Final Fantasy VIII.
No, but if they've got a symbol to represent the
It's
lunar
an
cry, it
ancient
must be a real
temple
thing.
that
Okay,
activated. Yeah, it's a
alright.
whole. Yeah. Okay, let's start. We start soft. We start
Episode
soft.
13,
Just
Red
Who's
Mage.
that?
this.
Red Mage, for sure.
This is a red mage. This is when we called Red Mage in
Yeah.
episode 13 of the of Speakers.
It
of
was
the
like
World.
Red Mage in
only-
Final Fantasy 13, question mark?
Yeah.
Only 4 years too early.
Yeah. Yeah. But here the
Offhand.
Why have
gate?
you grown an extra head?
this is for our big
Ogre
Ogre
Fat 2016
Magi?
review.
Yeah.
I don't know what offhand
Offhand
game.
gate.
Oh, I do. I just remembered it now. Lonigan was so sure that the focus for Red Mage was going to be an offhand
would have been a
weapon.
separate. It would have been good if it was. Best
That's
landed
cool.
options.
Yeah. We
They were
still
done with offhands in A Realm Reborn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at
yeah.
the end of it. What are you
Oh,
talking about?
Yeah.
You guys remember the big fat reviews we used to do?
Yeah.
Amazing.
This
Yeah.
was one of them. This is part 2.
Good times.
Papa Limo.
Papalimo's death.
This is Papa Limo's death.
Spoilers, wow.
Yeah.
What is?
and
Hang on.
Garrow
The
Man.
Garrow. Yeah, the
there's a little
Garrow.
Garrow
Man.
man up there in the logo. Pointless.
The best event.
Yeah. Also, this was
I
back
love-
when.
Why are you in orange, like merging into one creature?
Well, this is back when the people on the thumbnail represented who would be on the episode, which I stopped doing
I liked that
a
system.
few years
That's a
ago.
lot of
I
work.
like that system, but it's a waste of time.
Yeah,
It is a waste of time, but it was clever.
Yeah. It also didn't really mean anything. Like most people didn't notice it in the thumbnail anyway. So, and here is us covering.
Jesus
covering-
Christ, his teeth!
See, this is the thumbnail format I know.
Yeah, this is
Stormblood Early Access launch White Mage in Summer.
this is
The
the
Raubon.
gate.
Well, and Tatara, Pippin.
Because Pippin
Yeah, 'cause
too
he was
became
just
a
as
bottleneck.
tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Orange got into Pippin first try as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stupid Orange.
And then we have this one I just remember. Like I just don't know
The
why I
Switch.
remember it because it's so chaotic.
Why?
It-
Why
Jesus.
is he eating the moon?
I don't know. But
Tasty. The apocalypse happening.
Oh,
around
yeah,
us.
the
The
Switch
Switch
on
is the
there.
worst thing.
You guys
yeah.
talked about possible Switch port or something. at the
Oh,
time.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't get the moon.
We were theorizing
You
about
wanna
the
go to
moon.
the moon?
I think that's what we were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big theory for a long time.
Ah,
So it was going to the moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Yoshi P just once.
Why Tanaka is
Why-
there, however?
Yeah, I was
is
gonna ask
beyond
that.
me. I don't know.
I just am happy to see him.
Yeah. Maybe I just wanted to put him in there. That is Tanaka at his happiest. I've never seen him that
Really?
happy.
Wow.
Never been happier.
No. Oh yeah.
I remember this one.
The cop.
This is like during one of the many waves of like 14 is going to go free to play.
Yeah.
It's as early as episode
Is it because they're in the
63.
ugliest flying mount ever?
Yeah.
That was the end of flying mounts. The
Yeah.
stupid chair.
Yeah.
The chair was not the ugliest flying mount. They
No.
already had the horrible heart chairs before
Oh,
then.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then of course this is after the
Oh,
Roar
Rose
episode.
Realm Gate.
Yeah,
The
Roar Gate.
apology.
Yeah.
Yeah, the apology.
The
video.
apology. Yeah.
When Raubon could still
whoops.
hold Nanamo.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well,
okay.
calm down.
Spoilers.
Slow down.
All right.
Christmas
This
time.
is Christmas. For some reason, we have glamour prisms.
Yeah, because we
going
got
around.
Was that because this was
Were
one,
they
the
getting
one where
rid of
they
them?
announced they were consolidating them?
Yeah, instead of
Oh.
having 5 grades, they went to 1 grade.
Got Eureka in the background. Byakko.
Classic Byakko for some
And
reason.
Anta.
I
We're
don't
covering a live letter
understand.
here, so this is probably from the slides. I would
Oh,
assume.
okay.
Yeah.
Angamax.
The
That was
Ungermax
a tough
scandal.
Spaghetti
I
runs.
didn't
Yeah.
remember this was that old.
Gosh.
Episode 82. Good lord.
I still don't really know how it properly worked.
You just type the command.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
like /Ungermax or /AC Ungermax, something like that.
ridiculous. Mog Station
Oh,
Read.
This
The
episode,
anus.
so many people commented on this episode. I remember this.
This is one of our most watched speakers episodes. That's not like tied to like a live
All those
letter or a fan
Fantasias.
fest.
This is like Nat's house.
This was the first time we like addressed Mog Station like as a problem.
Oh, look at that baby pink. It matches the Moogle's anus really nicely.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Very well thought out.
This is just funny. I just think this is a funny like title. Is Pyros good? Is Pyros good?
Is
Is it?
No.
Watch the episode and find out. It's episode
Yeah.
118, guys.
Yeah.
Go on our YouTube channel and watch it.
it's fine. Why is he there?
And Jacques Sparrow.
I don't know why.
And Ragnaros.
Yeah.
And the stupid earring.
Yeah, the airing I understand. So we're talking about
Yeah.
the Manderville earrings.
Well,
but
this one, it's a Yoshi interview, so WoW will have been mentioned for his crossover, probably. I don't know
maybe.
why Captain Jack Sparrow's there.
I think we maybe you guys jokingly made like a reference to like them doing a crossover with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh shit. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
So,
Has-
Maybe.
Because, like, you clearly, as the podcast image shows, you weren't there, Rollo. So
no, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we have that system. I like that system. Bring it back. Lips. Why do they look so dark here? Are they not? They're not that dark in game, are they?
Because they're pulled up. No, because Gaia is very pale and Nomura is not as pale.
Yeah, I think
Oh, they
that's
look
what's
so
happening.
dark on him. It's so funny.
And then
Who's
this
that in
man
the top right?
that's just being hand puppeted by Yoshi P. I don't know.
Was that Mr. Atma?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
That was
No, Mr. Atma
Is it-
didn't. Oh, maybe. Actually, I don't know.
Is this
Garland's
Zodiac on the moon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, why did I? No one. Okay, I see. See, sometimes I put things in there that no one would ever see, like when the thumbnail is this big. But all right.
No. Garleon's on the first. I assume that's because I just saw what was on the next one. I assume this was a thing we did because it was a drought and we didn't know what
Yeah.
else to talk
I
about.
guess so,
I think
yeah.
I think so.
Patch Strand guys on
Episode
the first,
194. Episode 200.
the mustache is
I
here.
hate it.
The
Ugh,
mustache.
shade.
Yoshi P's mustache. Why is that something we're talking about? Celebration and Yoshi P's mustache.
You know, like a little
Dream.
Dirty Sanchez mustache. I just can't take it.
Yeah. Also,
God.
I'm glad to see no one's mentioned it yet, but the balloons, of course, are here. The
Yeah.
balloons that we've always
Yeah,
used.
we love them.
That PNG has had so much usage
Do you really reuse those balloons? I didn't.
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
That's
They'll
tradition.
be on this one too.
Those glossy.
Yeah, they'll be look when we get back to the main screen.
I mean, it's been Rollo. It's been there the whole time.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And when this goes live on YouTube, look at the thumbnail.
yeah.
We
Okay,
basically
hold on.
own that PNG now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, yeah.
okay.
He had to pay $200,000 for it.
All right.
You better make the most of it.
I might have accidentally closed.
You better
I thought that was a
restart it.
mistake.
Oh, you fool.
Shit, I've made a.
Oh my
I go
god.
through it.
You've made a grave error.
Oh my lord.
Should have had some PowerPoint transitions on this.
Yeah.
There are.
Well, these
There,
are.
there is. It
I
slides
guess-
down.
Yeah, it slides
Now I
down.
want
Yeah,
dramatic
why?
ones.
Oh, the
Okay,
one where it
all
turns
right,
to a paper
all right,
airplane.
All right. Okay. So we were on here. Okay. Here we go.
Wow.
No! I don't
Creature.
want to see him.
Yes.
I don't want to see that.
And the
city
highest resolution photograph of Yoshi P ever.
yes.
Yeah,
I
he
know.
feels like horrors. Oh my god.
500. 8K resolution.
Yeah. And Forgiven Foxconn in the background.
Forgiven first, and then 1.0 connection issues.
Yes, because remember, even though it isn't showing the right error code, but this was when this could have been when a server error that was a leftover from 1.0 was causing people to disconnect from the server. I think it was error 2002. Yeah, I think that's why that's there.
Absolute classic. Oh my god, he's back!
He's back!
You get so much juice out of fucking.
I loved him.
That skin eater.
Oh, it was so good. It's just
Christmas
bizarre.
cave.
And then a gathering update.
Oh yeah, that was a good update.
Yeah.
Yoshi P skunks.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's horrible.
221. That was an episode.
Oh, it's really grim. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, that was when we had this. I remember there was this really interesting article about how 14's economy was kept going. And I remember we discussed before when we were prepping, like, this is way too dry. But I think it did all right. I think it was an okay segment.
I liked it. It was interesting, but yeah, it was dry.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
Because Raubon looks like a peanut. It's
peanut
chicken
Raubon.
patch. I remember saying that.
Yes, and I just like, okay, I'll make him a peanut. That's all that is, and it's so pointless. And if you don't know the context of that, this is a very confusing thumbnail.
Yeah, you watch the episode, you see a common peanut head.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Beaver.
I was gonna have just because it was hype for Endwalker, but I was like, there's no way I'm not putting him in this thumbnail because I've even cleared out like our characters just to have that. No.
Yeah.
He stays.
I don't like him.
I don't
Servers are full of...
understand.
He's a mentor.
And he's being overwhelmed.
He looks smug.
Well, this is important because this is the big wave. This is us documenting the influx of new players.
Oh yeah.
Oh, these are the WoW players.
Yeah.
He's very sweaty.
Yeah.
Again, a really crisp image of him.
Overflow error.
Yeah.
Oh god.
This was a time. I guess I just needed a background. So no, I'm choosing Limsa because it's the place where people.
Because that's where they are.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. And now we're getting.
Oh wow!
This
Whoa.
I've brought this in because
Your most favorite fucking.
a trend begins.
Grab of Yoshi P.
A trend begins here. I'll say that.
Oh, it's the Australian map.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Undeserved, of course, but really cool.
Make one for all the regions.
I know, right? Make a whole world map.
That's awesome.
It is cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And then we have the trend continuing, and also look at like how when you look it up close now, you'll see like couldn't really spend much time on those fingers. I was really fast there. I crunch,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Drinking again. Let's have a drink.
Yeah.
Man, we should get into wine more.
Yeah. No, I don't think that would be. I think no. God,
we should start drinking.
No.
There it is.
Oh, I hate
It's
this
so ugly.
293.
Oh, it's terrifying.
The Rothgar haircut.
Didn't Yoshi P start laughing at this when he showed
he
it as
did.
well?
Yeah.
It's that bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
The face he makes is what makes it so bad.
It's so ugly.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You don't even notice it,
I
but the
regret.
characters in the background also have
Yeah,
the
they
face,
all have the
Yeah.
face.
which is so pointless because literally that's
Oh,
No
it's
one's
funny.
going to see that.
the face. And here is
Yeah, the housing lottery.
housing lottery.
Rambros, what's he doing there?
It's a good 6.1 spoiler review. 6.1 spoiler review. I think he was in there.
Did we have to go and talk to him for part of the quest line?
Oh, he was in the raid.
Oh yes, of course he was.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ugh.
I don't know.
The glasses.
You also really like using that one image of
Yeah.
Yoshi P when he has his like.
Yeah.
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 The
I have a
glasses
lot
are
of
so
lot of
bad.
photos of Yoshi P.
Why are they so bad?
Because it's funny.
Mm.
Yeah, this
Yoshi
I
P.
clearly had no idea what to put in the thumbnail here, so I'm like, okay, there's a Yoshi P interview. Just put up some Yoshi P, and that's what I did.
A few Yoshi Ps.
Yeah,
Mm.
the third-party tools and
Oh.
housing update number 6.
Classic.
Yeah,
Getting rid of those studios DPS meters.
yeah.
How dare you know how much damage you're doing, you fool?
Just do sea, stone, sky.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have Yoshi P. Holding...
There's a big bottle of wine he's got there.
Yeah,
It always comes back to wine.
Mm.
and
Doesn't
EU...
quite actually work if you look at his arm.
No, don't look too closely. Don't look too closely. I didn't finish the job because I was like, no one's gonna see it anyway.
Yeah!
Yeah.
There it is.
And
The billboard.
Uses a picture from something that no one's seen because you never
Yes.
released it publicly.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah. There it is. The billboard disaster. That was around patch 6.1.
That was a great time.
Yeah. Episode
Those
307.
days.
Yeah.
Height of community drama.
That was big drama.
I
Yeah,
missed
bring
that.
that
I
back.
want more community drama.
What was that?
This
No, the next one.
this
What-
one's
what
up.
was-
This one's up there in like favorite because I don't know why I did it. I don't know what
So
the
good.
point of that was.
I
Cursed.
really like it. The way you can see the shadow of his original head. That you burned him out of the picture.
I was going to illustrate it's Yoshi P and his best friend, Wine.
The ghost. The ghost of
Oh.
Popcorn.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Oh, and then
Oh no.
never forget this. That happened.
Hercule Poirot.
Yeah.
I know faces are supposed to be good for thumbnails, but do people recognize this as a face?
Probably not. It's pretty horrible. And then this is just
Oh,
a moment in
no.
history, I
Don't.
think, that we should all think about.
This has nothing to do with 14.
No.
barely. Just the,
Just the
the
Game
God of
Awards.
War guy going on and on.
He went over to say, who's the guy on the right?
He
He's
played
a
the
flute guy. He's coming back this year.
Oh, that's good.
They're
Which
Oh,
is
hell
the
yeah.
flute guy? Okay.
He did like
I don't
really
remember.
hardcore fluting.
I'll have to rewatch to remember him, but I remember Chris just talking
Yes.
for 400 hours, and then Gangster Man came out. Can't
Yeah,
remember his name.
he's hugging
off
him
the
right
top of my
there.
head.
Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot his name again.
Robert De Niro?
No,
Is
it's
that not De Niro?
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
Oh,
Yeah,
Al
Al
Pacino.
Pacino. Okay, and then
Oh, Jesus
This
Christ,
oh,
horrible.
the fuck me up cut was so
Oh,
good.
That was horrible. Why would you do that one?
it's
This is a
funny.
request. I think I asked Lukio to please make it happen.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Awful.
You did ask for this one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's horrible. And then yeah.
Oh, that's a classic. Oh,
Another
God.
community drama banger.
That was
yeah.
a good community drama again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Omega Ultimate cheating scandal. And then I just don't understand what's happening. I guess it's Little Ladies Day, and I was like, how do I combine Koji Fox and the Little Ladies Day lady? She'll pat him on the
Yeah.
head. I guess that's what's
God.
happening.
He doesn't look comfortable about it.
No, he's just
No.
letting it happen, but he's not happy about it. No. And the chair.
Oh, the chair.
Oh,
When
just
Lalavel
had-
players got upset because they hate the Lala chair.
now this is the depths of community drama.
Yeah.
This was so funny.
Uh,
Oh, Lala players getting so upset is hilarious.
but this was like all happening, like the billboard, and we had the cheating
It was a
scandal.
great
It was
time.
like back to back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
It
just
was
happened.
so-
It was
Another
so
week,
great.
guys.
Yeah.
So that's that, and then a sad
Aw.
episode.
Oh.
This I
Aw.
forgot to include it, but this is actually a reference. This thumbnail is a reference to an older thumbnail that we did, which looks almost identical. and that's when we were talking about the relic, and was it how ugly they were? I don't remember.
Oh,
I don't remember
Possibly.
exactly, but there is. If you go back in the archives, you'll find one that looks almost pretty much like this. So that's a fun game for you to play. Go do that.
that's fun.
And then, of course, this the state
Another
of Final
banger.
Fantasy 14.
So much drama. Or
And
whatever.
then-
Yay!
This week's.
Bleeding Gums
This
Murphy.
was my request. I'm happy you made it.
Yeah, well, there it is. That's me looking up at Bleeding Gums P.
Yoshi P.
Yep. And that's the Square Enix office in the bottom. So there you go.
I did not know what that was. I had to ask you what the
Yeah.
hell the building underneath it was supposed to
Yeah,
be.
it's a very generic business building, but there you go. Okay. And that's
Incredibly.
okay. Well, we are definitely not
It's
going to
clearly
make
no
it to
post-show
post show.
today.
So I'm going to say that we're going to cut the post show. So we're going to have to just do that next week. I'm sorry. We ran out of time, and we still have a clip compilation. That's going to play us out today.
Clips, guys.
There's some
Compilation of clips.
there's a 9th anniversary clip compilation.
And does it have any grand spanking new content for this 9th year
So
of our Lord?
what's funny, I don't know if people have picked up on it. I think I've said it before, but tradition dictates that I don't change the project file. I just
Nope.
add to it. So it just constantly is like growing because I just add clips to an old project.
It'll be an hour-length movie eventually.
Yeah. So I've
God,
added
yeah.
some more clips this year. Not that many. We don't need that many, but you know, there's
Oh,
a lot.
Just add
of content.
hundreds.
Yeah.
Let's get it to like 1 hour by the time we finish the whole channel.
Okay. Well, we'll sign off with that. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow with Sunday Fun Day, or if you're not watching that, we'll see you next week. Happy anniversary!
Hooray!
Bye.
I have to black out the screen for a sec because there's something wrong. So hang in there, guys. That's right, Lonigan Theifer is not here today.
Yeah.
To me, there's a difference between hard and long.
Yeah.
I agree there. Second, how much does the Blue Mage look like mariachi?
Looks like
What's this sound?
What a
I don't
lovely
know.
noise.
Yeah, what is that noise?
We're getting a message
Brother?
from outer space.
What's happening?
First
Brother, what are you
contact.
saying?
It's happening. Oh my
It's
god!
getting louder.
What the fuck?
What's
I
happening?
can't believe we
Okay,
made
it's
first
definitely always
contact.
muted now. It's gone.
What happened?
Wow! Oh my god!
Why is this bug freaking
It's a
out?
pig.
Oh my
Can you see the AFK screen? Rollo is moving, and
Yeah.
Yorgo.
Your go.
Are we online?
I'm not alone though. I am joined by Vero Sombrero, who is, as usual, not present in her close-up. Good evening. Here we go again. Good evening.
Really?
I can do this. Good evening. Fucking the orange making whale noises in the background. Okay. We are the. For some reason, both of our other hosts, Georgi and
That's it.
Rollo.
You know his name.
I love the deep.
You love it, do you?
No wait. It's time to pull.
Wait.
Oh my. The fucking lid came off. Tuesday, May 16th. Oh my god, I totally just I hate this show. For once I felt like a really powerful mage. We're slipping. We're slipping.
He plays well.
Orange is now holding up his dog.
He's a well player.
And
He's a well player. Oh my god.
The world has
Oh my
come to an end. Why can't the blind fish participate in 420? I don't
Why
know,
not?
Umbral.
Why can't the blind?
Why can't the blind? He couldn't see weed. Oh my god!
What is
What is this?
What is this? Look what you did, Umbral.
Volcano anal? Oh. Well, read that again.
I'm sorry, what was that?
okay?
Sorry, volcano and... Well, this one's already ruined. So there we go.
Isn't that the sticky one?
That's the sticky one. I've got sticky fingers
Which-
again.
Did you put the sticky side down?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm not here to make fun of anything or talk down on Daddy of Light. But what is going on?
Yoshi wants to die. Yeah, look at him. It's so... This... Oh!
Oh, okay. Well, what am I supposed to do with this?
In silence!
I...
We're gonna do something about it. All we can do is pray.
Oh no!
皆さんは一度休憩をしていただいても大丈
All
夫
we
だと思い
can
ます
do
I
is
think in any
pray.
case, we can at least take a break.
ね。そうですね。はい。じゃないと皆さん
Okay. You see... Oh! No, we don't do that on air. Hold on. Lukiel's got this. Shh. It's fine. It's totally fine, guys.
Oh my god, wow.
Oh my god, it's Rapture! Okay, that was... Okay, first of all, I have to make Orange aware that our viewers did not see the video screen that I held in front of your face. So they... Have you seen the video with the guy who's like, oh, my father taught me the game of Switch, where you put one finger in your mouth, one finger in your butt, and then when he he counts down from 3, and when he gets to 0, you switch fingers.
No, that sounds
Okay.
fun.
Do you ever squish it really hard and then just suck the egg out of your hand?
Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah,
suck the
absolutely.
egg.
Speed booby, seeming is a can of milk. Okay.
Bite this onions.
Okay. Okay, here I go. Who would have thought this was where the stream would come to an end? Yoshi P fingering, sorry, that's the wrong word. It's wrong. Oh, fuck, don't touch that. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit, this is all going wrong. Okay. Just plug into the... Oh, God, don't touch it. Oh my god, Mela, we're both down here.
Don't worry, guys. I'm
We
gonna
weren't
provoke
gonna
him.
we weren't gonna win when he had that many stacks, Mela. I needed someone for him to trade spaces with.
That wasn't prog, that was regression.
Okay, Heel sitting in his living room. Mela enters with a pizza box.
Pizza time!
Mela, you can't pizza time. My wife has left me.
Oh!
Awooga! Awooga!
Whoa. Yoshi P, more like Yoshi Penis.
Well, we'll do, you guys do.
I can't believe that hasn't been said before. Why is that? What is that? Why is that so funny? No, okay,
Oh,
sorry.
no.
Don't laugh,
Wasn't that
Nikhil.
funny?
Okay, woo! Woo!
Okay, we're gonna do
You ever think about how like your hand fits so nicely wrapped around like the neck of a goose? Like it was made for it, you know?
I was peeing,
Go on.
and while I was
Bro,
go on.
and then I let out what I thought was a fart.
Hmm.
But it turned out it wasn't. It was a deluge of shit. And I shat myself.
Also, I can't come.
You should go see a doctor.
You should go see
a doctor.
You're gonna run into a
Right, you're running into a wall now. So
okay, look, stop. Just strafe. That's the other. Look, Heel. Just read it.
This is funnier than I thought. I'm glad we unboxed it on stream for my reaction because remember how the only part of this collab is like the only way you would know this is a 14 product is because of the sticker.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, you don't have to stick
You
it on
have to
yourself.
place it yourself. What is this? Oh my god! I'm rich! Vice! You wouldn't believe this!
Oh god, no.
Found 900 gold in the cupboard!
Oh god, no.
Save.
No.
Who keeps putting money in our house?
It's me, I work.
It sticks together and I can throw the breadcrumbs on top.
What?
Right.
Oh no!
Is that what you hoped for?
No! Oh, I don't know. Oh god. Oh god.
What is she putting on?
Oh
Are these
no.
breadcrumbs?
These are the breadcrumbs.
Oh.
A very different version of me. Oh,
What is happening?
He's trying to recreate his face, line by line.
I'm disappearing, Georgie. I'm being eaten by the other world.
No.
Now your creepy faces are gonna float up there once you fall. It's horrible.
Democracy sausages are a thing where if you go to a voting location, you get like there's like normally a sausage sizzle there, so you can get a sausage in bread. Like,
A sausage inbred? I'm not gonna die, don't worry. I died.
Next time, we will see you in the first.
Oh, okay. She's so done. Look at her. Oh!
yeah, no.
Okay, just like that. They were done. And so it was over.
End.
Look at his fucking face. Look at everyone's face. Look at Amy's face. She's so glad it's over. Oh.
The first.
Oh, okay.
See more butts.
More.
I almost got one shot.
Oh my god!
Is that you, Nikhil?
Nikhil got one shot. You fall in the hole, Nikhil. Oh my god. I will blow you for playing ninja, please.
If a tank sees you using...
My mom would fucking get a heart attack if she saw this. Oh!
Remember, this was the thumbnail.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What is it?
Gorgo.
My nose home.
Oh, Spriggan.
Gorgo.
Oh my. Are you having an aneurysm?
Yes! Gorgo, help me! Mr. Umberwind.
Oh my god. I said no because I've only ever revealed secrets intentionally.
Wow.
Vicious.
Oh my god. Is it weird that Peach has hair?
No.
Oh
Yeah.
god. Mala, come
Yeah,
on over and flick my teeth.
Think, oh, keep out, and then there'll be a ghost or something.
Fuck.
But you don't need to do that now because you know what it says.
I'm so scared. My back hurts. I've never. Okay, nothing's
just look
reflected
at
in this
right.
fucking mirror, my dude.
It will be when you look in it. And
I can hear that you're covering your eyes.
I am, yeah. How did you know?
I can hear it.
Oh my god, it looks horrible
on you.
It's got an umbrella.
It's got no face. It's
Secrets to tell. Take care, my friend.
Oh my god, I'm like horse. I'm a horse.
Oh fuck, we're
I'm
hacking the
winning.
system. Appeal.
Yeah.
What if one day you woke up, right, and you were like in a dark room, and then the first thing you hear when you wake up is, "Let's play a game." He's like, "Lukiel, you love to consume battery fresh, but have you ever thought of consuming water?" In front of you, there are two cans: a can of battery fresh and a can of water. Inside the can of water is a key, along with a peg.
A peg?
Make a choice.
How did this get up here?
He doesn't have a tail.
That's true. So I'm leaving. Bye. I have ogre hands. That's all I have. That's all I have in this world is ogre hands. Brian, I'm panicking. I'm officially panicking making omelette.
Put up a jigsaw.
Yeah, just a jigsaw.
Put up jigsaw.
How about a
jigsaw? Using a jigsaw.
How about a jiggy?
Yeah, jigsaw
from Banjo-Kazooie. There you go.
Oh, put it.
Oh, I was
put
going to say
jiggy.
put up a jigsaw of jigsaw.
A jiggy,
Solving
a
a
jiggy
jigsaw.
holding a jigsaw of jigsaw.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There
While
you
they're
go.
cutting,
That's a lot of
using
work for
jigsaw.
While Banjo is playing the banjo in the background.
There
you go.
Off.
I've done it.
Complicated visual for you to have to animate.
Yeah.
Holy
Good luck, Lukiel. Can you record yourself editing this, Lukiel, at 4 a.m. crying as you have to put all this shit in, as you're downloading a picture of Banjo-Kazooie, trying to find one with a transparent background. Okay, I have the pussy cheese. That doesn't sound right.
Hang on a sec.
Hold on.
Excuse
Would
me.
you like to explain that one?
No, sorry, calm down.
Oh, this is that really bad looking Viking set.
Yeah, this one sucks.
Excuse me?
Vikings
What
suck.
did you say?
You
What
guys
did you
can
say?
probably tell.
Oh,
I only speak in past tense.
What did you say, Lolo?
What did you say?
It's the Viking they.
Viking, the Viking ways. What did you say?
Your sword lightning thing. Not why'd I say that? No, sorry.
I have to note down the time code so I can delete that.
No!
Whoa.
What the hell did you say? Oh.
I meant to say requiescat. I don't know why I said that.
They eat fish raw.
I eat some things raw as well.
I don't think you call that eating. Or at least I hope not.
Wow. Ass?
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is that I said it's time for liquid, and you just came. You didn't come.
I'm sorry.
It's time for liquid.
It's time for liquid, Yogi. It's time for liquid.
It shows that he will land there.
Yeah, do it. You're saving him.
You're saving him from the poison.
That is
Oh,
true.
you're the most resigned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
What?
Why did he turn into blood?
You killed
You told.
I'm gonna faint.
Idiot.
I'm stuck to you.
Let go.
Hey, Georgi, we're going. We're going over here for a little bit. Come.
No.
Georgi, come over here.
Go.
Oh shit! Oh shit! No, come back.
Oh, you saved me.
Yes. No, now listen here. Well, just real quick. Oh shit.
He punched me! Yogi hit me!
Get off my...
Jump off with him!
I don't know how to release. He's stuck. Yeah.
And then Georgi comes
What is
out
Yogi
of the
Day?
bath, and he's like,
The
"Whoa!"
bath.
And then he goes, bada bada bing bong!
Remember to eat your beans. Bye.
Got him.
It reminds me of